Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful start to your week. You had a wonderful weekend as well. Um, I did watch something that was a little freaky. Scared the crap out of me, which isn't that difficult. I think it's known at this point that I don't do well with horror films, and I don't know. I guess I get lost in it in a way. Like, all the jump scares get me. I've said this before. I'll say it again. All the jump scares get me. It's like, if you're ever wondering and you're just sitting in a movie and you're just like, why do they do this many jump scares? Or, do people still fall for this? Absolutely. And I will say every single one. I'm the person in mind when they create those with the music and the quietness and then the bang or whatever sound they make. They have me in mind and they always win. That is just a fact. Oh, was it worse than the Megan is Missing movie? Nothing is worse than that. That movie, I don't even know if you can call it a movie. It was more like a documentary on some very heinous acts. It was very odd. like, like I haven't thankfully thought of that movie since, but it's definitely one of those where there's like no redeeming qualities of it. I can't even give it like maybe it'll, wake people up to not trust people on the internet so easily. But it's still not good. It's still not good. It's not good to watch. You're consuming something that's just gross. Very gross. I don't know. It's almost worse to watch it than to just tell somebody not to do something. So, I don't know. But yeah, it was interesting. I'll go over it here very quickly. Welcome in. My name is Todd. If you're new here, I react to videos. I've been doing so for about 3 years, just over 3 years. Started on YouTube, and if you're watching us on YouTube, shout out to YouTube. But yeah, I'm recording these live, and I'm just adding them together. I used to do these all individually, which honestly took so much time. I'm a person that has a full-time job. This isn't a full-time gig. I do this because I, number one, enjoy it. The whole purpose of this, if you don't know, I'll just run through it quick. The whole purpose of this channel was for me to get outside my bubble. YouTube is very well known for basically just figuring you out and then just force-feeding you the content it thinks you like. And yeah, it does get it right a lot of the time, but also it just kind of puts you in this box, and then your algorithm is what your algorithm is, and it's very hard to break free of it. So this is a wonderful way. Originally, I just was reacting to videos I was choosing, which didn't get me out of the box. But I had to grow a little bit of an audience before people started recommending and requesting their own videos, which got me outside of my own box, which is super cool. I've enjoyed it, and if you're new here, I hope you join in as well. It's been very fun. It's been quite the journey. I've watched things on here I had never even heard of, never knew was a thing, like so many different things. Pretty much everything, honestly. Pretty much everything is new to me, which has been eye-opening because I have not, you're not aware that you're in a bubble until you see outside the bubble. And once you see outside the bubble, you're like, oh my gosh, there's a whole other world out there that I didn't even know existed. And what's crazy is outside of our bubbles is a whole other world. That's the crazy part. It just keeps going and going and going and going. Certainly other languages have their own bubble, and it's just like, oh my gosh. It's a lot to take in. But good grief. Hey, what's going on, Rocco Kitty? No, definitely not. Definitely not Megan. Yeah, so that's why I started the channel. I've been reacting to videos for just over 3 years, and I've started this live streaming just to kind of put a couple of them together. Things that, I don't know, I don't really try to create like a symphony, if you will. I'm not Mozart. But I do try to pick videos that are a little interesting and slightly different from each other, so it's not all one thing. That way we can, grow as a community, grow as a consumer of content, if you will. If you watch the whole stream, I mean, you're just you're in it like I am, where you're very much consuming things that you probably never heard of, probably never watched. And I think that's really cool. So, what's up, Earthling? How's it going on? If you join the website, I might. ToddReacts.com. You can definitely do so. I'd love to react to more Six of Crows. Six of Crows has been really, really fun to watch. Honestly, I haven't seen a lot of the rest of the show, but from what I've seen of Six of Crows, it's been really cool. Really, really cool. But yeah, so I saw Speak No Evil over the weekend. We'll go ahead and launch into that. Speak No Evil, James McAvoy. At most I've seen him in X-Men playing, oh gosh, who did he play? Yeah, young Professor Xavier. I don't know. I kind of enjoyed him as an actor. Didn't really think of him as anything special. Boy, then I saw him in this Speak No Evil film, and I was like, whoa. Number one, he plays a very good villain. Very good villain. But the whole movie, apparently it's a remake of a Dutch film. And the Dutch film has a way bleaker ending. Very bleak. Like, everybody gets it, basically. But, this has been... I kind of researched it a little bit, and a lot of the articles are just like, this has been Americanized. And if you know what I mean on that, very much, I guess you could always say like a Disney ending. That's always a good way to explain it. But yeah, it was very interesting. The concept of it is very much like, oh gosh, what's a good way to explain this? The people that go choose almost a coward's death. What does that mean? That means you just kind of let it happen, right? You don't stand up for yourself. You don't say anything. You don't try to do anything. You just succumb to it. And that's kind of the gist of the original movie. So this one, I mean, you're not just outright crazy. Like James McAvoy wasn't outright crazy, but his subtle crazy is so good. His subtle hints of crazy was just chef's kiss. It was incredible to watch. As far as the movie as a whole, I mean, it's not bad. I think it's certainly interesting. I think it's definitely worth a watch. Is it earth-shattering? No. But it was very good entertainment, is what popcorn movie. That used to be a saying. I don't know if it still is, but a popcorn movie. Very much turn your brain off, just kind of enjoy the ride. And it is a ride with James McAvoy. Holy cow. He nailed it. He nailed it very well. That was a great casting. Just unbelievable acting from him. But the rest were okay too. What was funny is the two main couple there, they were also in Halt and Catch Fire, both of them. So when I look at them, that's all I see. And I know Mackenzie, I think is her name, was also in Terminator. Oh gosh, what was the name of the Terminator? Dark Fate, I think was the name of it. So I do know her from that. So outside of the Halt and Catch Fire world, but still seeing them together, that just kind of put me in that frame of mind. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm watching the show, but not really. Not really. They didn't quite get along in the show, but apparently they're husband and wife in this one, but very interesting. I definitely recommend at least checking it out. You don't have to run out to a theater to see it. If you want to wait to stream it, totally understandable. But yeah, worth checking out, especially around this time of year, which is, Halloween's coming up. It's just kind of one of those seasons, I guess. Even if you don't participate in Halloween, it's just, I don't know, the nights are a little spookier. Just a thing. I don't know why. It's just a feeling. Maybe it's because of Halloween. I have no idea. But the nights are a little more interesting in the fall. or autumn. Now, if we could just get the temperatures of fall and autumn, I would absolutely love it. But yeah, check it out. It was interesting. It was very interesting. James McAvoy killed it. Absolutely killed it. Got some great videos for you today. We have 5 videos, as usual. It might fluctuate from time to time. 5 isn't like a cemented number, but seems like a pretty decent number. Just to kind of give everybody a little bit of everything, Darker nights, colder nights, yeah. It just kind of has that vibe to it, doesn't it? So the first video is Good Omens, Somebody to Love. Second video is Spaceless, a short story about a fictional BL couple starring JesBible, or Bible Jess, if you will. From the recent 4 minutes, HunterxHunter video next, reasons why HunterxHunter I butchered it, I'm sorry, is canon. And then next is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, Mac and Daisy. It's been a minute for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, so I'm happy to see it back. And then we finish today with The Witch. It's a South Korean movie series. Should be interesting. Never heard of it. That's always fascinating. Just kind of jumping into something you have no idea existed. So strap in, get yourself something to drink, something to eat, snack on, whatever you want. And enjoy the ride. I know I will. And speaking of requesting videos, if you'd like to request one, you just head on over to excuse me. Whoa. Let's get those words going. Come on. Let's get those words. Do I have to do like exercises? Go re mi fa sol la ti do. Head on over to toddreacts.com. Join the season and series tiers. That's how you request videos. Those are the video requesting tiers. So go ahead and check that out. Yes, I did create the website. It is using the Fourth Wall platform. They reached out. I think it's been over a year at this point. They reached out and was like, hey, we noticed you're on Patreon. Do you want to, try our platform out? It's super easy. We work with creators very well, and which, by the way, they do. I actually requested a couple features, and they did it, which is wild to me, but pretty neat. They're very responsive. And what's really cool is it allowed merch to be possible, which really wasn't possible for the longest time on Patreon. So it just kind of opened that up. And they're also very good at, creating interesting themes and all that stuff. And I just kind of tweak it from here and there. But check out the website. I hope you enjoy it. While you're there, check out the summer collection. It's leaving in just over 7 days. Holy moly. 7 days. We're almost to the winter collection. It's basically the fall/winter collection. Everything's a little warmer. We got some... Oh gosh, I don't want to give spoilers, but we got some warmer clothes coming. Longer sleeves, if you will. I guess I should be tight-knit about it. Was that too obvious? I tried. Go ahead and check out the summer collection, available for just over a week at this point. I am wearing the polo, as you see right there, as this gentleman is wearing. Lots of great stuff. Ships worldwide. They actually manufacture it all over the world, so shipping time does not take very long, which is very cool. So, very, very neat. Also, while you're there, check out the accessories. You'll notice the insulated tumbler is being used pretty much every stream. I just keep it here, and it's fantastic. Keeps the drinks cold. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, let's see here. Does it say? Does it say? It doesn't say. Oh my gosh, I gotta add that. But it keeps cold drinks cold for about 9 hours. Keeps hot drinks hot for about 3 hours. So that gives you kind of an insight into it. Mouse pad available. That's brand new. Soft and cozy throw blanket is going to be more and more useful as the temperatures drop. The water bottle I actually take to work literally every day. That's fantastic. And yeah, go ahead and check it out. Website members save 15% on every order. And go ahead over to YouTube. If you're not on YouTube or you have no idea why this is on YouTube, head on over there. You'll find out. There's over 1,000 videos. There's over 1,000 videos on there. So if you've just started, or maybe you were looking for something or had something in mind, go ahead and head on over there. Chances are I've reacted to it. They're pretty good chances, honestly. At this point, pretty good chances. Lots of stuff. All the VODs, all the long streams are available on YouTube because Twitch doesn't allow me to keep videos on the profile for very long. I guess they don't really want to have the space for it, which I totally understand. But every stream is uploaded to YouTube after it ends. So go ahead and check it out. And if you are on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. These are numbers literally from the analytics. This was from August. 93,000, just over 93,000 of you watched videos and did not or were not subscribed. So go ahead and do so today. We would be over 100,000 if literally everybody subscribed. If you enjoy what you're seeing, if you want to see more of it, if you come back often, hit the subscribe button, please, and thank you. I'm going to continue pushing this for the rest of 2024 hard as we try to get these numbers up. We're just about, I think we're just about we are just shy of 5 million total views on the channel, which is unbelievable, honestly. A little terrifying, but unbelievable. And I appreciate each and every one of you for any views you've contributed to that. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It is free. It is easy. You can subscribe to all the creators you enjoy. And it's very handy to be able to find videos and from people you enjoy. Again, it's free. It's easy. Subscribe today. Please do it. It doesn't mean anything monetarily. It's just a nice little morale boost. And honestly, it makes the channel seem more, I don't know, what's a good word for it? Impactful. So maybe people click on the videos more because they see that the channel's pretty decent sized. And that's just kind of a, psychological thing maybe. But it just adds some weight to the channel as we rise that number, as we lift it up. And it just grows a community, which is super cool. So join today. And last but certainly not least, go ahead and head on over and join the Discord. It is free. It's available. Lots of great people in there. Lots of super nice people in there that have joined. It is amazing just how positive a space it is. I'm not surprised because the YouTube comments are usually very positive. And those folks have joined. So it's not surprising, but it is very nice, honestly. 142 people currently in the Discord. So join up today. Lots of amazing stuff. If you're into anything or you're a fan of something and you don't see it listed on the list of channels here in the fandoms section, just let us know. We'll be happy to make it for you. Head on over to this request a channel, channel, ... channel, bit repetitive. And just let us know whatever you're into. And we'll make a channel for you. And let's see. Updates from me. That's basically just maybe I'm running late. Maybe I need to change the day of a stream. Maybe the upload is taking a little longer than usual. I'll try to let you know on there immediately or as soon as I can. Check out all these wonderful fandoms. Critical Role, Bridgerton, Zinunu. Zinunu's active. So if you're a Zinunu fan, you really got to be in there. Don May, 911, Doctor Who, Umbrella Academy, Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, Law and Order SVU, Young Royals, Rookie, Arrowverse. Just a ton of stuff. Heartstopper. And we have a lot of fun stuff too. So if you want to post, your pet pictures, take a particularly cute one, you want to throw it, and see how people react to it, there you go. Memes is always hilarious. What kind of adventures you're going on. It's always cool to see just from the eyes of other people. It's just fascinating. What kind of food you're eating. We all are from different parts of the world. So it's just kind of fascinating. And there's a ton of stuff A ton of stuff. So go ahead and check it out today. Again, it's free. The link is available everywhere. It's on the website, under every video, on YouTube. It's on the Twitch profile as well. If you have any questions for Todd, it's also the platform that's easiest to contact on. Absolutely. Just do just mention me, do a little @ symbol, and then my name, Todd Reacts, and then I will see it. I will get the notification, and then I will respond. That is definitely the easiest platform to reach me on. There might be more in the future. I don't know. But it's definitely the easiest one to reach me on. And honestly, if everybody joins it, then it just becomes the de facto place. The hangout, if you will. I really enjoy it. And I know you will too. So come on in and let your opinion be known. What are you into? Maybe you're really into Zinunu and you want to join the crew. They welcome you with open arms. They literally do. If you join and your name has anything to do with Zinunu, they'll welcome you in immediately. Immediately. So come on and join today. I know you'll love it. It's a fun place. They pounce indeed. All right, let's bring up that first video. And it is Crowley and Aziraphale. Wow, I think I got it right. Somebody to love. All right, I think I got everything ready to go. I do. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. You never know. I have no idea why I just restarted.
Crawley. Hello, Aziraphale. It's you. Dear me. Crowley.
Absolutely.
Demon man. What kind of stupid question is that? What else am I going to be, an aardvark? So all this is your demonic work?
Shove your morals up your ass, Mr. McPhail.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Get thee behind me, foul fiend. Love. Flashes of love. Good old demonic miracle of man. Left home.
That's really sweet. Enough to make you believe in true love.
You know what it's like when you don't know anything at all, and then you're totally certain that everything would be better.
John Hamm is everywhere.
Particular person.
Crowley.
No, I have no idea what that feels like.
You've been together long, you and your partner?
I don't know, it's not like that.
It certainly looks like that.
We've known each other a long time. You know, go back a long 6,000 years. I knew you'd come through for me. You always do. You said trust me. I could always rely on you. And you did. You can always rely on me. Come back. We do it together. Together. We're a team. A group. Group of the two. Let there be light. And we spend our existence pretending that we are. That sounds what? Lonely. Let there be light. Hello, Gabriel. What I need is for him to be nowhere near me and the precious, peaceful, fragile existence that I have carved out for myself here. I thought we carved it out for ourselves. So did I! You have no idea the trouble you're causing to you.
Anybody they find involved in this affair will be dealt with.
How?
Book of Life. They won't just be gone. They will never have existed.
If any harm comes to Aziraphale because of this, I will.
I'm a little bemused as to why Crowley should risk destruction for you.
I lost my best friend.
Oh my gosh, it's Crowley. I said Crowley. Whoops.
So sorry to hear it. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's too late. It's always too late.
He said I could appoint you to be an angel.
What do you know about what I want? I know you. You do not know me. I know the angel you were. That was a long time ago.
It hurts to remember.
I know. Do it anyway.
For one prince of heaven to be cast into the outer darkness makes a good story. For it to happen twice...
Make it seem like it's an institutional problem.
What?
I can't.
She can.
I can't.
Crowley, he's in trouble. Angel, This is the Supreme Archangel of all heaven, who tried very hard to cast you into hellfire and destroy you. You told my only friend to
Shut your stupid mouth and
die. And I did not care for it.
But heaven, it's the side of truth, of light, of good.
When heaven ends life here on Earth, it'll be just as dead as if hell ended it.
It's maddening. We can't give up now.
Tell me you said no.
Come with me. We can be together. Angels.
Anything you need?
I need you. I don't think you understand what I'm offering you.
I understand. I think I understand a whole lot better than you do.
They have both started off as angels, but you are fallen. And mean to fall.
And I would like to spend.
You never say what you're really thinking.
I mean, if Gabriel and Beelzebub can go off together, then we can. Just the two of us.
We can run away together. Alpha Centauri.
Always wanted to go there.
We can go off together. Go off together?
Just be.
David Tennant, indeed. It's kind of amazing how it almost always seems like they try to. I'm thinking of similar shows, like they Lucifer obviously was pretty big on this, just trying to get away and have like a normal existence. You're just like, I don't know if that's even possible, but it seems like a pretty common storyline in these kind of shows.
Me and us.
I don't think my side would like that. You don't have a side anymore.
Now I'm thinking of our flag means death.
With hell as far as I can.
You're just an angel who goes along with heaven.
Blackbeard and
as far as he can.
We don't need heaven. We don't need hell. We need to get away from them.
We're on our side. There is no our side, Crowley.
We could have been us.
I just found something that matters more
Steed.
to me than
Oh my
choosing
gosh.
You go too
I
fast.
was trying so hard to come up with Steed.
Up in the stars. I won't even think about you. I don't need you.
Appreciate
The
it.
feeling is mutual.
Oh, we're better than that. You're better than that.
Steve
Angel,
Bennett.
You don't need them. I certainly don't need them.
Aziraphale, it's time to choose sides.
I forgive you. I won't be forgiven. Whatever. Unforgivable. That's what I am.
I forgive you. Don't bother.
Well, always did want to go his own way. Always asking damn fool questions, too.
I just think, what's the point of it all? You can't leave this book. Hear that?
I don't hear anything.
That's the point. No nightingales.
The rough exterior, but he's actually a sweetheart at heart. We see you. We see you.
Nothing lasts forever. No. No, that's what it does.
Amazing. Wonderful edit. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original edit. Go throw it some much deserved love. All these videos, links will be in the video description on YouTube. Go check it out. And check out the rest of the channels as well. You never know. You might find something you're really into that we haven't reacted to yet. All right, let's go ahead and bring up some information on that. That was very good. That was kind of a general overview of the whole thing, very much. Trying to work together, figure out how to work together. Trying to get away from it all because things are going pretty badly, obviously. But somehow working together and making it work. That's interesting. Very interesting. The ineffable husbands. Aziraphale, I need you. I don't think you understand what I'm offering you. Crowley. I understand, and I understand a whole lot better than you do. Aziraphale, well then there's nothing more to say. Crowley. I'm saying Crowley. Crowley, listen, do you hear that? Aziraphale, I don't hear anything. Crowley, that's the point. No nightingales, you idiot. We could have been ... us. Ineffable Husbands is the non-binary ship between Aziraphale and Crowley from the Good Omens fandom. Status of relationship, best friends, in love, kissed. Semi-canon. Moments. In the beginning, Aziraphale covers Crowley from the rain with his wing. Crowley takes several steps towards him. Crowley covers his... God, these names are just killing me. Aziraphale from the meteors following near them in space. One meteor bounces off his wing right above Aziraphale's head. Aziraphale reminds Gabriel that he's been looking over Crowley for a millennia. Crowley tries to call Aziraphale, but forgot he took out all the phone networks. Crowley asks whether the reign of terror in France was heaven or hell, but doesn't remember. Crowley asks what's for lunch, and Aziraphale suggests crepes. Let's have lunch, I still owe you from Aziraphale, Paris, 1793. Crowley, yes, the reign of terror. Was that one of ours or one of yours? Aziraphale, can't recall. We had crepes. I love that. That's funny. Aziraphale, so what are you in the mood for now? Crowley, alcohol, quite extraordinary amounts of alcohol. I get that. I think this probably sums it up the best. Aziraphale, what are you doing here? Crowley, stopping you from getting into trouble. Just goes to show that, might be a demon, but certainly has some trepidation about Aziraphale getting hurt or, dying, if you will. Let's see. The two were quickly shipped by fans of the original novel, as they seemed like a great couple then. The ship gained even more popularity with the series. I'm sure it did. David Tennant and Michael Sheen. Ineffable Husbands is the most written ship for both Crowley and Aziraphale. Is also the most written ship in the Good Omens TV and Good Omens tag. That's not surprising. The ship name, Ineffable Husbands, along with other ship names with the word ineffable, comes from the first conversation that Crowley and Aziraphale share on a wall to the Garden of Eden. When Aziraphale calls God's plan ineffable, this word is brought up many times throughout the series, so the name is fitting. Both Sheen and Tennant played the relationship as a love story rom-com. On Twitter, when asked to give labels to Aziraphale and Crowley, Neil Gaiman left it up to the audience's interpretation, but ultimately said that it was a love story. Several characters have mistaken them for a couple in both the novel and Amazon series. In the novel, Anathema assumes she could be kidnapped by Aziraphale and Crowley until she hears Crowley call Aziraphale Angel and just assumes they're a sweet couple. In the Amazon series, these also include Sister Mary, a random passerby, Uriel, and Nina, who all assume they are a couple. Michael Sheen made his Twitter header the promo photo of Crowley and Aziraphale staring out over the horizon. Amazon posted a playlist for Aziraphale, the first letter of each song's lyrics spelling out ineffable. Oh, okay. So Amazon just kind of ran with it. Gotcha. That makes sense. Tells you they're actually paying attention to their fans. Michael Sheen admitted to reading and agreeing with fanfics. All right, Michael. Aziraphale and Crowley was the most written ship on AO3 for the year 2023. Wow. Very interesting. Kind of cool how they go throughout time, and I'm assuming they actually go through all these events. Ancient Rome, Jesus, the Globe Theater. I mean, that's really cool. I'm assuming there's a lot of time travel in this, or just different settings in time, which is awesome. I'm sure that's really cool. Michael said, it was easier for me because I decided that early on that Aziraphale just loves Crowley, and that's difficult for him because they're on opposite sides and he doesn't agree with him on stuff, but it really does help as an actor to go, okay, my objective in the scene is to not show you how much I love you and just gaze longingly at you all the time. That really does happen. David said, but then Crowley absolutely loves Aziraphale. He hates that he loves him. It's really annoying for him, so they're both going through that. That was very obvious in the edit, that Crowley was very much the unwilling, willing participant. Very much like putting up that front of just, oh gosh, I don't want to see you get hurt, so I guess I'll go kind of thing. But it's very easily seen through. You know, it's not like it's difficult to put the two together and figure it out. Michael said, there is a sort of wonderful love story in this. I think a lot of the fans of the book kind of like that when they think about the characters. There's an interesting love story going on. It's never explicit in this, but it's there. It is there. That kind of makes sense, yeah. It's never outright mentioned or addressed, I guess. But just from watching the edit, you can kind of pick up on things. You don't even have to read the book or even watch the show. Literally just watching those clips, it gives you kind of an inside look. The historical looks and sets are so fun and well done. That's awesome. I'm glad. You know, Amazon certainly has a lot of money to be thrown around. Although they threw a lot at Rings of Power. But, you know, they still have more money around. The kiss becoming explicit was end of season 2, and there will be one more season, I believe. Okay. Interesting. So that definitely leads up for an interesting season 3, for sure. Michael, I as the angel, the being of love. I certainly love him. Does he love me? And then David said he wouldn't possibly comment on that. That'd be far too demonstrative. Oh my gosh. Good Omens season 2 kiss means more than you think. Kiss serves as a last-ditch effort, there we go, by Crowley to express his feelings for Aziraphale, but Aziraphale chooses to return to heaven. Oh, dang. It was a long-awaited kiss, doesn't solve all their problems. Well, it never does. That's true to life. Whether it's, you know, a kiss, marriage, kids, there's no getting around issues with just trying to paint over it, you know? I just think back to that, oh gosh, what is that movie called? This is the End, with Seth Rogen putting the one piece of duct tape over like a cracking foundation in a basement or a house. I'm like, I immediately think of that. It's just like, that's not gonna work. Season 1 was based on the book. Oh, okay. Good Omens Season 2 finally did what fans have been anticipating since the show started. Aziraphale and Crowley finally kissed. Can't really blame us for being excited about it. While a kiss wasn't necessary to validate the love story at the heart of the show, it did feel like a natural next step to the romance and something that had been speculated by fans and teased by Neil Gaiman for a long time. But while our favorite angel and demon did lock lips in the Season 2 finale, it didn't mean an end to their troubles, and has a much deeper implication beyond just a show of affection. Well, yeah, I'm assuming it would complicate things initially. That has got to be true. 6,000 plus year journey that Aziraphale and Crowley kiss in Good Omens Season 2. First season took us on a 6,000 plus year journey. Wow. Confirming that the two of them were indeed deeply in love. But like with any romance, it seemed obvious to everyone except the two people in the relationship. Oh, that's very true. That finally changed in Season 2 when we first meet back up with them in Episode 1, The Arrival. They're finally fighting on the same side, their side, and everything is, tickety-boo? What does that mean? That is definitely something I've never heard before. I'm assuming just hunky-dory or things are going well. Assuming. Until their former opponent, Gabriel, John Hamm, of course, shows up in Aziraphale's bookshop with no clothing. What is this, Terminator? no clothing, and no memory. Aziraphale decides to help and quickly hides him from both heaven and hell. Soon all the forces of heaven and hell are on the hunt for the missing archangel, effectively threatening the precious, quote, precious, peaceful, fragile existence he and Crowley carved out for themselves. Oh, isn't that... Oh, gosh. People always ruin good things, don't they? It's like a 1950s or earlier phrase. Oh, okay. As the search for Gabriel escalates, Crowley and Aziraphale resort to a clever miracle to conceal Gabriel's identity. However, this act triggers alarm bells in heaven, and they find themselves having to explain the miracle's unintended consequences. To divert suspicion, Aziraphale explains that the miracle was used to make their shop neighbors, played by the brilliant Maggie Service and Nina Sosanya, fall in love through a series of devious plans that they learned exclusively from Jane Austen novels and Richard Curtis films. The pair spend the better part of the season trying to set up Nina and Maggie in an attempt to cover up the lie. Eventually revealed that Gabriel and Beelzebub began having secret meetings after Armageddon failed to kick off in season 1, and through these meetings, the two leaders fell in love. What? Deciding that they no longer wanted to fight each other, Gabriel told Heaven that he was not going to participate in Armageddon Part 2 and was sentenced to Metatron. By Metatron to have his memory erased as part of his punishment to bury the controversy. But before they can erase it, Gabriel removes his clothes, hides his memory in a fly Beelzebub's gifted him, and heads to Earth in the hopes of restoring his memory and returning to his love. What the heck? That is so interesting. Oh my gosh. Why am I keep screwing up that word? Last ditch effort. There we go. After Heaven and Hell's former leaders leave Earth, Nina and Maggie return to the bookshop and tell Crowley what they believe he needs to hear, because like Nina tells Crowley in an earlier episode, quote, other people's love lives always seem much more straightforward than our own. They explain to him that while he and Aziraphale's plans to get them together didn't work, to get them to talk and set them on the right path for romance in the future. They tell them that it's clear Demon and Angel have feelings for each other, but they won't ever get together because they don't ever talk to each other. Saying that they were really thinking about one another was what Maggie and Nina need to do, and it's what Crowley and Aziraphale clearly need to do as well. Realizing they have a point, Crowley prepares to tell Aziraphale how he feels. While this is happening, Aziraphale is having coffee across the street from Metatron, who offers him Gabriel's former position and the ability to restore Crowley as an angel. Wow, that's powerful. Passionate confrontation is filled with rushed confessions and painful misunderstandings. Boy, is that not true. Oh my gosh. And both struggle to make the other see their reasoning. When it becomes evident that neither of them is going to change their minds, Crowley pulls Aziraphale by the collar. In one last desperate attempt to express his feelings unequivocally, though through one fabulous kiss, hoping it will be enough. In response, Aziraphale, emotionally torn, says, I forgive you, reaffirming his commitment to Heaven, even though his heart belongs to Crowley. Even though they are both clearly moved by this new physical intimacy, the grand gesture hits them both with a hard truth. It doesn't always happen like it does in the movies. That is a fact. Major milestone, but it doesn't mean happily ever after. That is true. That is definitely true. Season 2 finale finally shows Crowley and Aziraphale honestly express their emotions. I'm sure that conversation, the back and forth, was fantastic. Season 3 can explore the repercussions with more detail, of course. Although it's sad that the series will end with a third season, here's hoping that even if we will be eventually parted from them both, that they'll be together at the end of all this. Well, I'm assuming we'll find out. But yeah, that's too bad. It's only getting 3 seasons, but that is pretty amazing that they kind of set it up nice. You know, they're like, all right, first season, we'll build it up a little bit. We'll kind of make it seem like it's going in that direction. Season 2, building it up. They finally give you what you want. And then I don't know what they're going to do in season 3, but They could go either way with it, of course. But originally it was only going to be one, so 2 more is all gravy. That is pretty nice. That is pretty nice. I'm assuming the numbers were very good. That's why they brought it back for a couple more. But yeah, that's I don't know where they're going to take it, but maybe they'll pay a little fan service and get everybody what they want. Story behind Good Omens and all the Queen references. Well, video literally had Queen music on it. Let's see here. Prove 3 things. The apocalypse can be hilarious. The characters could not have been better cast, and the music of Queen makes everything better. Well, that is a fact. That is absolutely a fact. All the Queen tunes came as no surprise to book fans. Viewers who never picked up a copy of the novel were undoubtedly at least a little perplexed at all the Freddie Mercury. I mean, perplexed maybe, but definitely into it. I don't know how you couldn't be. Well, there is a reason for all the Queen, and the answers lies early in the text of Good Omens. Viewers probably noticed that the Queen tunes generally played in scenes featuring Crowley and or the Bentley. The explanation comes in the first 15 pages, saying this, quote, Crowley was currently doing 110 miles per hour somewhere east of Slough. Nothing about him looked particularly demonic, at least by classical standards. No horns, no wings. Admittedly, he was listening to a best of Queen tape, but no conclusions should be drawn from this because all tapes left in a car for more than a fortnight metamorphosized into the best of Queen albums. Oh my gosh. You know what? I can't even... gosh. If there was one band that I had to listen to for the rest of my life and I couldn't listen to anything else, it would be pretty hard to not go with Queen. Oh, Slough. Gotcha. Yeah, it would be difficult not to go with Queen, frankly. Trying to think. I mean, Nirvana's great. I like them, but I don't know if I could listen to them forever. Blink-182 has always been a passion of mine, but maybe. Queen is just timeless. It's just, they got a lot of different songs. They got songs that'll pick you up. They got songs that'll, speak to you when you're down. They got hype music, the stadium rock. They've got almost opera music. It's just kind of everything. This weekend I saw a string quartet play the hits of Queen by candlelight in an old church. Dang, that must have been nice. Wow. Yeah, that would be beautiful for sure. When Good Omens was published in 1990, well, that's why tapes were in there. Tapes were the non-radio way to play music in cars. Neil Gaiman revealed to Vulture that the joke about metamorphosing Queen tapes started when he and Terry concocted the theory that any cassette left in a car long enough turned into the best of Queen. The joke had stopped with just one Queen mention in the book. The Good Omens show probably wouldn't have been packed with Queen songs. Instead, the book continued to show Crowley and Aziraphale on one occasion trying to play some non-Queen music, only to be blasted with the tunes of Freddie Mercury. That's funny. That is very funny. The Traveling Wilburys turned into a rendition of Radio Gaga. That's so funny. That's amazing. Given that technology in the past 30 years, oh, good grief, has definitely moved away from cassette tapes, the Good Omens adaptation was bound to get creative with including the running Queen joke from the book. Let's take a look back at some of the most notable Queen sequences. You can do that on your own. Go ahead and find this article. But I will say this. I did have quite a few cassette tapes growing up. CDs were definitely well on their way by the time I got around to listening to music and owning music. So cassettes were very much on the way out. But I did have a few tapes, cassette tapes. And I will say this about it. It was a pain, rewinding and trying to find a song. Good luck. Good luck. Unless you had it perfectly written out, on the jewel case or whatever, 3 minutes and 10 seconds, this song starts, and then you can just kind of go there. But most of the time you didn't have that. So it was literally just rewind, forward. Oh, I went too far. Rewind. Nope. Forward, couple seconds. Nope. Well, that's close enough to the beginning. It was very much like that. But I will say there was no ads or anything like that, so it was kind of nice. But yeah, those best of tapes or CDs were just perfect. Perfect for any road trip or whatever. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the next video. It is Spaceless. It is a short film, about 19 minutes long. Just a heads up on that. Fictional BL couple starring JesBible from the recent 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and jump in. I grew up with 45s and records. I will say this about it. I have listened to quite a few records over the years. My dad had a pretty small collection that survived past kids and everything. It was probably bigger when he was in college, but I do like it. I like it. The music is, I don't know, it's more alive. That classic cliche of records just feel more alive for some reason. I don't know why that is. Maybe the technology is just better at, not compressing the music, like digitally. Most of the music we hear has been compressed. You're streaming it, it's compressed. That's why, getting those plans where it's, not compressed music or as close to real as possible. That's why you pay a little extra for those. But yeah, records are amazing. They made kind of a comeback in recent years, in the last decade. Like you can buy actual records of new CDs. Well, dating myself there. New albums and whatnot. You can still do that. As a small kid, I apparently put Dad's records on the floor to make stepping stone. Oh, gosh. As an adult, I've groveled for this. Yeah, I bet. Jumping on all those records. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's rough. I remember just trying to figure out the record player my dad had. Oh, my gosh. It was literally, I don't know, maybe 10, 11, 12, somewhere around there, trying to figure out this record player, just not succeeding very well. And I was just like, you know what's funny? How I feel trying to get this record player to work and play this record is exactly how probably a lot of people feel with recent technology. They're just like, what is this? How do I use this? What buttons do I hit? It was very one for one on that. I was just like, wow, I'm having trouble using old technology, just like people have trouble using new technology. So it just kind of shows as times change, there's still the same struggle, My brothers took one of mine and used it as a Frisbee. Oh my gosh. Not sure if you remember the record on the back of the cereal box. I don't. When I was a kid, I definitely remember seeing a lot of connect or collect enough cereal box proof of purchase and then send in, and then you'll get a CD or something like that. Or maybe I remember Pizza Hut had a deal for a demo N64 game, Nintendo 64, or a VHS of some sort of movie or something, or a bunch of demos. It was very interesting. yeah, I definitely remember like sending stuff in to win something or, get something. But I don't remember any sort of like cereal box record. It must have been a little bit before me. But yeah. Ay. That I will say that. If you've never listened to a live record, like on a record player, spinning and whatnot, spinning 45s, you need to do it. Somehow, some way. Like, it is fascinating how good it sounds. Let's go ahead and jump into Spaceless. Let's see. Do I have it pulled up? I think I do. Probably turn on. Do I need closed captioning on this? Does it already have it? No, I'm probably going to need it. All right, I'll just turn it on. If we need it, we need it. If we don't, we don't. Make it a little bit smaller so we can actually read the closed captioning. All right, here we go. You have not missed it. Welcome, Will. Short film was inspired by a song. Interesting. The Monkees, late 60s, early 70s. I used to watch the show that had the Monkees on it. Like the reruns of it. Hey, we're the Monkees. All right, let's jump into this and get it going. Unmute it.
เอ้ยเดี๋ยวมึงก็หายแล้ว
กูว่างั้นแหละที่เราอยู่ ที่เราอยากอยู่ ที่เขาให้เราอยู่ มันมักจะไม่ใช่ที่เดียวกัน
ทั้งหมดแนะนำตัวกันได้เลยครับ
สวัสดีครับชื่อเมย์นะครับอายุ25ปีแคสเป็นภูมิครับ
สวัสดีครับการครับผมอายุ21ปีแคสเป็นต่อ
สวัสดีครับตุลครับอายุ21ปีแคสเป็นไมค์ครับ
มอส
แคสเป็นมอสครับ
สวัสดีครับชื่อฟุกนะครับอายุ20ปีแคสเป็นเจมส์ครับ
Thank you
มาเข้าคู่กันทีมแคสวันนี้ได้จับคู่ให้พวกน้องแล้วเดี๋ยวเราจะมาเวิร์กช็อปเรื่องความสัมพันธ์กัน
มาเดี๋ยวลูกมาฝากทุกคนจับมือกันไว้นะ
ตุนใช่ไหมมาลากันหมดแล้วมือเปียกเหรอ
เปล่าจริงไปฉี่มาล้อเล่น
That is such a bold joke.
จริงไปขี้มา
Holy crap.
มึงควรดีกูป่ะเนี่ย
อันนี้พูดจริง
มึงล้างนะ
ล้อเล่น
เล่นเร็ว
โดนด่า
หลับตาอย่าเล่นกัน
โดนด่า
That was amazing.
ว่าเราจะได้บท
Definitely broke the ice.
ได้ดิมันก็เล่นเหมือนอยู่นะ
แต่ตอนที่เล่นกูไม่รู้สึกเลยนะเว้ยกูก็เลยลองนึกหน้ามึงเป็นรุ่นน้องคนหนึ่งที่กูชอบเว้ยแม่งช่วยได้เยอะเลยว่ะ ถ้าได้บทอ่ะมึงว่ากูจะเล่นไหวเหรอวะ
นี่มึงมองหน้ากูเมื่อกี้ในห้องอ่ะมึงบอกว่ามึงนึกหน้ากูเป็นรุ่นน้องคนนั้นใช่ไหมชื่ออะไรนะ
Oh, not this again.
งั้นแน่มึงหลอกถามกูดิ กูไม่บอกมึงหรอก
โอ้โหเบื่อคนรู้ทันว่ะ
You're back. It just looks so familiar.
เอาอย่างนี้ ถ้าเราได้เล่นจริงอ่ะ กูจะเป็นรุ่นน้องคนนั้นให้มึงทั้งเรื่อง
มึงน่ารักนะ
ขอบใจวะ
แต่รุ่นน้องคนนั้นของกูน่ารักกว่ามึงเยอะมากเว้ย โอเคดิวตกลงตามนี้ ถือว่าอนุมัติ เฮ้ยทำไร
ห้ามบอกนี่
อะไร
สัญญา
สัญญา เดี๋ยว
ว่า
มือมึงก็เปียกเหมือนกันนะ
แล้วไงอ่ะ
Yeah, that comment definitely took me by surprise.
ลืมเป๋า
Dang, we're flying through the years.
เอามือมาดิ เร็ว มือกูไม่เปียกเลยเว้ย กูว่ากูบรรลุแล้วว่ะ
มึงเก่ง มึงดี มึงยิ่งใหญ่ เรื่องที่ 3 แล้วนะ ยังเปียกอยู่ก็หาหมอเถอะ
แต่มือมึงเปียกนะ ความดันต่ำมาดิ
กูความดันต่ำ
น่าเสร็จทำแล้วเดี๋ยวพี่ตุ่นพิการเข้าเลยนะ
ได้ครับไปนี่ครับ
จะอีกกี่เรื่อง มือกูก็คงจะเปียก เหตุผลเพราะ1 เรื่องที่มึงรู้อยู่แล้ว และอีก1 เรื่องที่กูก็เพิ่งรู้ เรื่องแรกคือกูรักมึง และกองถ่ายคงจะเป็นที่เดียวที่มึงจะยอมให้เราได้รักกัน ส่วนอีกเรื่องคืออาการมือเปียก มันเกี่ยวกับหัวใจ
Got a sweaty heart.
มีปัญหาจริงๆว่ะ
กูว่ากูจะเลิกแสดงแล้วว่ะ กูพอละ มีเรื่องไปโม้ให้ลูกฟังเยอะละ
แต่มึงยังไม่มีลูกนี่
กูก็จะเอาเวลากับเงินที่หามาได้ไปหาแม่กับลูกไง
แล้วกูล่ะ ถ้ามึงเลิกเล่นอ่ะ กูก็คู่อยู่กับมึง โดนแยกคู่ก็เท่ากับว่ากูรอดับเลยนะ
เฮ้ย มึงเก่งกว่ากูตั้งเยอะ มึงอยู่ได้อยู่แล้ว วงการก็รักมึง อีกอย่างกูก็ไม่ได้จะไปไหนซะหน่อย
พูดอย่างนี้กันหมดแหละ ไม่ได้จะไปไหนสักหน่อย
That's what they all say. A lot of years
ถ้ามึ
have
งเลิกเล่น
passed.
กู
By
ก็
the
เลิก
way.
เล่น กูไม่อยากแสดงกับใครแล้ว
Okay. We're getting somewhere here.
นี่ไง มึงไปเล่นหนังแอคชั่นดิแบบจอห์นวิกกับมึง เล่นคนเดียวเท่นะเว้ยเล่นกับหมาก็ได้มีหมาอยู่ตัวหนึ่งไงจอห์นวิกอะ
มึงนี่โง่นะ
Right, he's not quite getting it. After about 5 years.
กูแกล้งโง่เว้ยมึงก็รู้ว่ามันเป็นไปไม่ได้
Might be.
แล้วมันไม่ใช่ว่ากูไม่รักมึง
Oh.
แต่กูรักมึงแต่กูรู้ว่ากูต้องการอะไรไงและนี่แม่งน่าจะเป็นเรื่องที่กูเห็นแก่ตัวที่สุดแล้วเว้ยที่กูแกล้งโง่เพื่อให้กูกับมึงได้อยู่กันไปตลอดกูแกล้งโง่ว่ามึงไม่ได้ชอบกูแกล้งโง่ว่ามึงความดันต่ำที่มึงเหงื่อออกเวลาเราจับมือกันอะกูรู้เว้ยไม่ใช่ว่ากูไม่รู้รู้มาตลอดอาการ
มึงแกล้งโง่ต่อไปก็ได้นะไม่ต้องเสือกฉลาดขึ้นตอนเนี้ย
กูรักมึงได้เท่านี้จริงๆแต่กูก็รักมึงจริงๆถ้ามึงอนุญาตให้กูรักมึงได้เท่านี้กูจะรักมึงได้ตลอดไป
Is happening right What is this putting limits on love stuff? This is ridiculous. He's choosing the closet to have a wife and kids. Oh. Gotcha. Boy, that is brutal. Just goes to show I'm just as clueless unless it's perfectly spelled out.
Yo.
เฮ้ยเป็นไงบ้าง
บายดี
Hey, what's up?
โอ้ กูนั่งทับได้ปะเนี่ยการแต่งงานมึงฮะ
นั่งไปเลยกูมีอีกเป็น100 ใบอยู่ตรงนี้
งั้นกูไม่เอาละ
Yeah, that's true.
กูมีอีกเป็น100 ใบแต่กูเอามาให้มึงคนแรกจะไปไหมงานแต่งกู
that's awkward.
เป็นเพื่อนเจ้าบ่าว
Best man? Oh my gosh.
มึงอยากให้กูไปป่ะ
ถึงมาชวนนี่ไง
โอเค
The gall to ask that
แต่ไม่น่า
is
จะไปได้
crazy.
เอ้า
กูติดถ่ายซีรีส์
เอ้ามึงนี่แล้วมึงจะมาถามกูทำไมว่าอยากให้ไปไหม
กูอยากรู้แค่นั้นน่ะ แค่รู้ว่ามึงอยากให้กูไปก็พอแล้ว
งั้นกูเอาไว้นี่นะต้องไปแจกต่อละเจอกัน
That bro handshake was a little bit more awkward. I can't imagine being so brazen to do that. Like, hey, I just turned you down, and I would totally go for it if I didn't want this. But come to my wedding? Be in the wedding party? What? That's like inviting an ex to be in your wedding party.
แค่จะรับรู้การมีอยู่ของฉันก็พอ
This is a song the plot comes from. Good to know, good to know. Wow, that is brutal.
ว่าไงครับ
บุญแข็งแรงดีนะคะ
Oh, 2021.
เป็นไงลูกกูน่ารักไหมเนี่ย ได้ตากูมา100%เลยนะเนี่ย
อะไร
ไม่ครับ
มึง หมอบอกว่าหัวใจกูมีปัญหาว่ะ
Garn's a better person than I am. I would have
มึง
left
ชอบไปรัก
and
คนที่
said
เขาไม่ได้
bye
รักมึง
bye.
อ่ะ
Bye forever.
กูทำบอลลูนแล้ว
Oh, jeez.
แต่ถ้าหัวใจกูมีปัญหาอีกรอบนึงอ่ะ กูน่าจะได้ไปอยู่ดาวแมว จริงๆ กูไม่ได้อยากบอกวันนี้หรอก วันดีๆ ของมึงอ่ะ แต่หลังๆเราไม่ค่อยได้เจอกันอ่ะ
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
กูก็ไม่รู้จะได้บอกอีกทีเมื่อไหร่
บ้าหัวใจมึงแข็งแรงอะตาย มึงรักกูได้ขนาดเนี้ย เต้นต่อไปได้แบบนี้อีก20 ปีไว้เชื่อกู
Oh, awkward. Oh, awkward.
No?
Oh.
กูรักลูกมึงเพิ่มอีกคนหนึ่งก็ได้ หัวใจกูจะได้แข็งแรงขึ้นอีก อ่ะ กูให้
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was a little handcuff. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, this situation is wild. I don't know. I was just looking at it, I'm like, what is that? Like, so you don't lose the baby or something? I don't know why I thought of that. It looked like it to me. God, this situation's... I feel terrible for the wife. What? Like, that situation's so wild on the day of the birth, too. Imagine. I want everyone to imagine. Imagine the birth of your child, right? And then imagine your spouse in bed, just gone through a traumatic event. It is trauma, but, you know, a beautiful trauma. And then invite an ex-lover or a potential ex-lover that never really got there. How do you think that spouse is going to feel? Who just went through that trauma? Oh my gosh. That is unbelievable. Oh gosh. I'm dead. Wow. You would never hear the end of it.
พ่อ ทำไมหนูถึงชื่อเหมือนคนนี้
Oh. Ooh. You named the kid after him? What?
ลูกกูชื่อการนะ
What in the Adam Levine is going on here? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so wild. I don't know. Right, I did recognize his face. That's unbelievable. Imagine him trying to convince his wife, no, we need to name her Garn. Like after your friend? Yeah.
กินอะไรกันไหม
ไม่
คะ
ต้องมีที่ที่ให้ฉันอยู่ แต่ขอแค่มีฉันอยู่ก็พอ สถานะเป็นเจ้าของฉันนั้นไม่ขอไม่หวังจะครอง ไม่ต้องมีที่เป็นคนสำคัญ แต่หวังแค่เพียงให้เธอจดจำว่าตรงนั้นจะมีฉันเมื่อเธอต้องการแค่เธอรับรู้การมีอยู่ของฉันก็พอ
At least the song sounds good. Oh my gosh. Trying to just process what we just witnessed there. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Link down below in the description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. I don't know if the love is deserved, but the videos deserves love. Oh my gosh. You named your kid after him. That's unbelievable. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. How do I put that into words? I thought it'd be an interesting one for you to react to. Yes. It was very interesting. You know what? I will say this. It was well done. The acting was good. I loved the cinematography of it. It was beautiful. It was a good looking video. It was definitely a short story. Wow, the plot is nauseating, I gotta say, because I'm instantly putting myself in the wife's shoes or the kid's shoes. Eventually, when the kid gets old enough and figures out what the heck happened. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Holy cow. A very messy fictional BL pairing. Indeed. Very messy. Oh my gosh. Toxic comes to mind. Oh, wow. That was something. That was... You know what? I'll say this. It was good. It was good. It made me question what was going on. I was a little lost at first. It got emotion out of me. I'll say that. It wasn't good emotion, but it got emotion out of me, which is, hey, well played to the director and the actors. But wow. I knew someone at university out as gay, but told me in front of his boyfriend he'd eventually marry a woman and have kids. Whoa. Whoa. That's something. That's something. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. I don't even know how to process this. Here's a review of Spaceless. In essence, this 20-minute short film imparts more than most BLs do in 12 episodes. Yeah, that was a lot to go through. That was a roller coaster. That mostly went down. Like it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. Not in like enjoyment factor, but just the story as it went on. He kept digging himself a deeper grave and deeper grave and deeper grave. I was like, whoa. Oh my gosh. Oh. Ironically, it also goes deeper emotionally than most BLs ever go as well. Additionally, it is one of the best acted BLs from Thailand I've seen in a long time. I don't know about that. That seems a bit strong. So in that sense, this film is generally a paragon. As much as this is a gem, I rejected its subtle underlying message ardently and found it quite demoralizing as a gay man. Allow me to explain. saga itself is not exactly original, but how it is told is. It is creative with its intent to pull at the heartstrings. I mean, the only heartstrings it pulled was the ones that I had for the wife and the kid. Like getting completely railroaded, basically. Like that's it. Like inviting a potential ex-lover who came out with feelings towards you to your birth of your child. Like what? And then he was like playing with it a little bit by naming his kid after, like, what? Two young men meet at an audition for a series and initially form a friendship instantly. There's a natural connection between the two, also an organic chemistry between the two. Seem to have instinctual bond to one another. What is this, Twilight? So much so that they are shipped together and over the years do one series movie after another. However, hidden beneath their successful shipping image was the fact that they were deeply, intensely, and profoundly in love with one another. Not enough, apparently. Very one-sided. But the only way in which they could express their love was through their scenes together. Set was the only place they allowed themselves to love one another. They dared not to take it further than what the public saw. But Toll decides to walk away from Garn, not because of being weary of acting or burnout or any excuses for quitting acting. He could not pretend to love Garn anymore without loving Garn to the fullest. The pretending was not sustainable. It was not in his nature to do that. He would not. Pressures of normalcy and conforming and therefore leading a life more befitting the lifestyle of everydayness was paramount. So he seeks to be accepted and wants a family. Wait, what? Way more than he wants or needs the love of Garn. That's weirdly written. That is very weirdly written. Pressures of normalcy and conforming and therefore leading a life more befitting the lifestyle of everydayness. What? Yet the love that they have for each other never diminished or faded. In fact, if anything, it's simply internalized at a much greater strength. That is so wrong to that wife. Oh my gosh. Strength that only two of them could understand, and its impact on each could only be imagined. Although they did not see each other much over the years, their connection to one another still remained strong. As Garn lays dying, Toll tells him that he named his daughter after him. Gosh. That is the power and testament of strength and commitment to their love to one another. He has no respect or actual love towards anyone other than himself. Bingo. I disagree with a lot of this review. Yeah. True. Short film is a wonder to behold. I guess, yeah. I mean, it did tell a story, that's for sure. And it was entertaining. Like, it was gripping. Like, I was into it. Granted, the story was horrendously awful for what it did to these characters. No doubt one will tear from pangs of sorrow and feelings of sadness. Not really. No. That's the worst part. I didn't feel sad at all towards the end. Like, how do you kill someone off in a short film and I don't feel anything for him? Yet, all I felt was disdain. Neither had strength nor courage. I only saw two people deeply in love. Were you missing the other characters? Playing love, yet unable to quantify that love in their own reality. One out of fear and the other because of the social pressures to be normal. Again and again, this story remains a constant and consistent one. The imagery that somehow to be gay in real life is abhorrent, even though it is quite acceptable on the screen. It adulterated a feeling between two men, yet did so by pulling at the sentiments of righteousness, that their actions taken were somehow noble. They were anything but that. Again, the surreptitious good grief, what a word. Surreptitious. I don't think I've ever said that without being ironic. Image remains that gay people lead sad, rather pathetic lives and must hide behind the curtain of hetero social normacy to be happy. I found that premise appalling as a gay man. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty out in the open there. Of course, not to mention whether for effect or storytelling itself, the outcome is the same. The pathetic gay... Wow. The pathetic gay dies a young, tragic death of a health issue. Meanwhile, the straight guy... What? Blissfully saunters off with his family after visiting the gravesite of perhaps the only person who loved him as deeply and passionately and... Wait a minute. How does this correlate to this? What? What the hell am I reading? Not for any sense of benefit, but because of commitment and devotion. Oh my gosh. Of course, there are woeful stories among gay people. I am not naive nor living in a dream world, but this is storytelling with the storyline that becomes nefarious for one-sided altruistic reasons. Quote, if you allow me to love you so much, I can love you forever. Toll says to Garn. Hollow, empty words. If you love someone, prove it. I mean, he named his kid after him. I mean, that is wild. Do not hide behind those words. Oh my gosh. And your wife has to say that name too to talk to the kid. Oh gosh. You gotta hide behind those words to give yourself an excuse to not fully love in body and soul. I wept at the manipulation those words had over the life of someone so deeply and profoundly in love with you. I loved and hated this series, but in the end, I hated it more than I loved it. In my mind, it regressed a gay love story to an allegory of being pathetic, one still needing to be a conformist to survive. No, honestly, no. I kind of took it the other way. It seemed like Garn had gone off and done other things, and they hadn't seen each other in a while. It was Toll, the one that said, I named my daughter after you, clearly still thinking about him a lot to be able to do that. Like, I think it was the other way around. Yet this is brilliantly done production and one of the finest acted BLs to come along in a very long time. For that deserves your attention. From a gay perspective, is an epic Greek tragedy. It is not a sad story, but a wistful one. Oh my gosh. All right. Here is Jace's rebuttal. I believe it's Jace's rebuttal, correct? If someone loves you like this, run. Indeed. Garn feels like a weird name for... Yeah, I was thinking that. I was like, I don't want to, I don't know if that's me and a friend. Okay. A rebuttal. Firstly, the opinion expressed in the review is a valid one. I never want to imply that it's wrong or bad response. This isn't to talk over the feelings of a gay man as a viewer, but to add mine as a fellow queer person to the conversation. The plot of Spaceless is simple. Two men love each other. For a long time, it's unspoken in their BL ship. It's what Oscar Wilde themed the love that dare not speak its name. It's been well over 100 years since that line was first said, but thanks to certain aspects in society, families, work, etc., crossing that line is still terrifying for many people. Not just saying you're in love, but that you, a man, have fallen in love with another man. So we have two characters, Garn, who says it out loud, finally, and Toll, who says, I love you, but I want something else for my life. Symbolically, though, not overly subtly. To those who love endures the years so strongly is the one whose heart fails him. The, quote, brave gay man dies and the closeted coward lives, is how, to me, it feels the review reduces it to, but I feel this is uncharitable. It's a short movie. We cannot fully understand why Toll and Garn make the different choices they do, what informs them, how upbringing or culture has impacted them. I think that brave and coward are reductive titles. And the same with labeling Garn as pathetic. Pathetic for carrying a torch, pathetic for not moving on. That seems just as harsh to me as assuming that is Toll a coward for not wanting to follow his heart to be with Garn. Yeah, I don't quite understand going after Garn as much in this. Honestly, the person that I was kind of going after in my mind was Toll. Like, that's the person I was going after. So I didn't quite understand why the author was going after Garn. Yes, there are too many stories that result in a gay man dies sad and alone. I agree with that, but for me, that's a surface-level reaction to Spaceless, where there are more layers here. For instance, Garn and Toll are a fictional BL couple that are, of course, real couples. And it's not far-fetched to think this is a crossroad that has been visited by at least one of them. Yeah, probably. Honey are simply actors doing a job, but other pairings have made it known that their bond is something different. Right. That is true. Could this have been true? One says I love you, one says I can't. Yeah, absolutely. I think that can be real for sure. That probably happens more often than not, frankly. And why might someone shut down and not follow their love for their pairing partner? Within BL as a genre and community, there are still double standards. Actors Apo, Porsche, Kin Porsche, and Tong from Kin Porsche as well have both talked about homophobia from the crew in past projects, almost driving them away from acting. Interesting. In Daou and Off-Road's most recent hit, Century of Love, they too experienced this from behind the scenes homophobia. There have been actors that have been caught out in homophobia scandals too. Finally, perhaps surprisingly, there are homophobic BL fans. Ones that don't like it if the characters are too physical with each other because they can't fantasize about themselves with them. Oh gosh. Or when an actor is anything other than straight for some reason. This is huge pressure to put on someone, and that's why we know that's what we know Garn and Toll are dealing with in the short film. It gives layers to the relationship that most BL watchers would be aware of to a degree as they watch Spaceless. Not explicit in its discussion of the pitfalls of BL, but the tragic story being told to me can be used to examine the industry the character and actors are part of, the parts that can be pretty dark in their extremes. All that from a short movie written using a band song as inspiration. Get Sunova's song, Spaceless. In short, as much as I respect the choices of a gay man not wanting to watch yet another story about a gay man dying, I do feel 1 out of 5 is far too harsh for a layered and well-acted piece. 1 out of 5? Wait, what? Rating 1 out of 5. Oh my God. That is way too low. Even if I don't agree with the actions of, the person in the story, that doesn't mean the story overall is trash. What the heck? Whoa, that's a low rating. Wow. Huh. That's wild. Yeah, I definitely disagree with that. Story and acting and editing and lighting and the character writing and music choice is all pretty good. Agreed. Yeah, it's definitely higher than that. I would give it... I do knock it down for the story, but I guess it's based off a song. So take that for what it is. I would probably give it a... Well, it was acted pretty well. The music was good. Lighting was good. All that good stuff. I would say, I'm wavering between a 3 or a 4. So I'll just split the difference. 3.5. Bad characters are meant to be hated. That's true. That is true. Doesn't mean the short film itself is bad. Yeah, absolutely. Jess is a great guy, so seeing him play Toll shows me his acting. Yeah, that is a good point. That is a very good point. JesBible, or Bible Jess, if you will. Relatively new pairing, having formed around March this year. They've also worked on several projects in this time, most notably the hit series 4 Minutes, which only just finished airing a week ago. Wow, this is timely. Jess, pronunciation guide. All right, let's see it.
Hello guys, are you excited for 4 minutes today? Let's learn how to say Jade's name in Thai.
All right. He knew what he was doing. I mean, this is so over the top. Over the top already. That is hilarious.
Guys, first of all, Jade, his nickname, right? In Thai, when they say Jace, it's not like Jess.
Oh, Jace.
Like in English, no? His name is Jade, so it sounds like a D at the end, alright? And of course, that's why his real name would be Jade Pipat. So Jade Pipat, of course, the first one
Pipat?
with the low tone, and P with a high tone, and Pat also with that.
This is hilarious.
Jade, Pat, and his last name, Pat. So Ti as a low tone, and La with a high tone, and Pon with a flat tone, and Pat also with a high tone as well. So now you guys can repeat after me. Jade, Pat, Pat. Jade, Pat, Pat. Jade, Pat, Pat. And now you understand.
I'm so done. So done. All right. 32-year-old Thai actor started acting professionally around 2009 and has since worked his way up to regular leading man status. Been in or starred in 31 licorns, and movies to date. Licorns, as a refresh, are the Thai equivalent to soaps, or telenovelas. Gotcha. Might be noticing that this is a very different background to any of the BL actors you've been introduced to so far, and that's because Jed is something of a wild card anomaly that no one expected. There have been licorns with gay romance. There have been BL actors in gay licorn. Daewoo Off-Road's recent Century of Love, for instance. There's also been some actors who clearly used BL as a way to leapfrog into licorns and real acting, quote-unquote, real acting. Something that has received fan backlash over the years. Oh, I get it. BLs are popular. Good way to make a name for yourself, and then you head on over to basically a soap opera. Good grief. That is interesting. I'm not surprised, There's money, fame, success, all that good stuff on the other side, so people will figure out a way to do it, However, to have a famous and successful actor not only do BL, but become part of an official branded pairing, that is unheard of. In this way, Jed is pretty unique. He still had some of his licorn work airing this year, even as recently as the past week. However, it's not clear if he intends to continue those roles alongside working with Bible. Though since he has recently started changing his socials on the last day, he no longer listed both the Licorn channel and Beyond Cloud, the BL company behind Kin Porsche, Dead Friend Forever, as his representatives for Contact, etc. Okay. Taking a stand. BL is popular, but not mainstream, I guess. Gotcha. As for this past weekend, 21st, 22nd of September, he only lists BOC, Beyond Cloud, whilst noting that he's a credited actor with Channel 1, the One Enterprise. This, along with being an official branded pairing with Bible, with sponsorship deals, etc., implies that he's serious about making a career in the BL world. It also shows how perception of BL has changed from something that teen girls watch, an unfair but prevalent stereotype, to a genre with a lot of talented individuals on and off camera. For it to be a viable choice to Jed, and whilst eyebrow-raising, not seen as madness the way Michael Jordan moving to baseball was. Yeah, that's very true. His dad passed, he retired from basketball and went over to baseball. Definitely not a great baseball career. Definitely not very good. Not bad. To be in the majors at all in baseball is impressive. But definitely Bo Jackson had a much better shake at it, and Deion Sanders as well. Jed is the first to cross over to BL, but hopefully won't be the last. Bible is a 26-year-old Thai actor, whilst in university struggling to be as self-sufficient as he could. Bible was taking all jobs he could. Through word of mouth, he was getting translation work, delivery, and anything else that would pay. A classmate had signed to do modeling and suggested Bible join him, so he did. Bible was signed to a modeling agency and started to do shoots and commercials alongside schoolwork, any other work he took to get by. This evolved to acting auditions too, not because he had a dream, but because he wanted to make money to pay the bills. Isn't that? I mean, come on now. That is the only reason why any of us work. Pay the bills. Well, I guess to give us something to do, but I'm sure we could find something to do to fill up time. Not because he had a dream, because he wanted to pay the bills and have enough food to eat, which he didn't always manage. All right. I'll bring up the pronunciation guide.
Hello guys, are you excited for 4 minutes? Today, let's learn how to say Bible full name in Thai. So start from his nickname. You know, Bible is the English word, right? But then if
Right.
you want to say in Thai, say Bible. All right, so Bible or Bible.
Bible.
And then his real name would be Wichapad. So we would be high tone and Cha also high tone and Pad would be falling tone. Wichapad. And Sumetikun is his last name, right? So Su with the low tone and then Met with the falling tone as well, and Te with the flat tone, and Gun also with the flat tone. Sumetikun. So Bible, which are part Sumetikun. So now you understanding Thai a little more and follow for more.
There you go. Let's see here. Where did I leave off? First audition he successfully got was for the role of Vegas. Wow, that was the first one? Good grief. Bible and English language first, so I've heard him use Bible and Bible. Oh, okay. He was just trying to eat something more than rice and eggs, he said. I get that. Ultimately, after some false starts, Kin Porsche was a global success, far beyond anyone's expectations. Bible says he fell in love with acting when making the show. He hadn't planned to be an actor, but by happy accident, he'd found his passion. The show was winning awards. Bible himself won some accolades, including Best Young Man of the Year. Wow. Then the Kin Porsche cast went on a huge promo tour show that comprised of singing, dancing routines, and acting out scenes from the show. Around this time, a new project was announced for Bible and his first partner, a BL show called 4 Minutes. According to Bible, at this time, the scripts were written, key cast were chosen, supporting roles were being cast. And then his partner was caught up in allegations, leaving the company entirely so as to be able to fight his legal battles. Bible was suddenly in limbo. The tour continued, but the rest of his professional life was on hold. Recently, he's talked about this period for first time publicly. He was helpless. Bible had done nothing wrong, and yet felt as though he was being punished from rising BL star, and then a 2-year gap without acting through no fault of his own. There were times when Bible believed he'd never act again. Unpaired in an industry that kind of needs duos, Bible was frustrated and hopeless. Being paired ultimately with Jed this year did not play out in an overly unusual way, but as you might have gathered, that's kind of fitting for them. Bible and Jed, both own and love cats. They both got sponsorships with Kaniva cat food and were asked to film some commercials together. They quickly found themselves getting along really well. It was the owner of Beyond Cloud Pond who approached Jed about trying BL and becoming a pairing with Bible after seeing them interacting together and the potential between them. Jed accepted. Early spring 2024, it was announced the 4 Minutes, a project everyone thought was dead in the water. Even Bible thought this for the longest time was going to be filmed and released later in the year. And this followed shortly after a small promo introducing Jed as the new partner and the new BOC signing. It was huge news that a well-known actor had decided to do a BL series as well as form an official pairing. Bible has said that Jed encourages him to be completely himself. Jed has talked about how passionate they both are about acting as an art form. Bible had in the past few years become withdrawn to a degree. He still approached his fans, still seemed to have fun as a company at company-wide events, but he was a natural introvert, stuck in a helpless period, and most agreed that you could see he was being affected by it. Between Jed and his career getting back on track, being able to once again act, Bible seems so much happier and carefree these days. When 4 Minutes premiered on July 26th, Bible's emotions welled up. Nobody could blame him. It's been a long time coming, but 4 Minutes was finally in the world. It's just wrapped up 2 Fridays ago, but by all accounts has been a hit, including winning an award, Breakthrough Cast of the Year. Wow. Having a 9.8 out of 10 on Shyie. Dang. Recently, when asked if he was now Bible's future, 4 Minutes as a concept, but had Bible's character seeing into the future, Jed just grinned and said his past, his present, and his future. Good response. Bible was born in Thailand, but his first language is English. Family all speak English at home, and he attended international school instead of a regular Thai high school. International schools have a high number of foreign students and use English as first language. All this means that whilst Bible is Thai and was raised in Thailand, it's his second language, and he admits he does find it more difficult. Jed spent more time living in New York. At one point, he even worked as a cashier in an adult shop. I'm dead. That's funny. Recently dropped that fact randomly in an Insta story of the day. On the day, the shop closed its doors for the final time, posting a black and white picture to mourn the end of an era. As a result, Jed has enough English to follow when Bible is speaking, his first language, and Bible can also speak enough Thai to get by. That hilariously rhymes. It does lead to conversations when they're going back and forth between the languages, as well as correcting one another. When Bible has been emotional with which the process of finally airing 4 minutes has been for him, he has been extremely supportive. At the event for the finale, he comforted Bible, gently reminded him it's okay to speak English, as he was too overcome with emotion to translate into Thai. Bible has said he's usually not a getting emotional in public type of person, but considering the uncertainty and stress he'd been under through no fault of his own, it's of course more than understandable. Been commented that these days Bible's been getting sassier. Part of that is, of course, simply feeling comfortable and safe enough with someone to be able to banter like that, right? During a live stream, Jed playfully bemoaned, "I taught him, Bible, to fight. Now he only fights Phi." Oh, pronounced P. Meaning Jed, as he is elder at 32. Bible calls him P. And he calls Bible in return Nong or Nong Bib. Jed has 15 cats. What? What? 15 cats? Oh my gosh. I get loving cats, but that's a lot. No wonder he jumped at a cat food sponsorship deal. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. That'd be a huge price lifted off your shoulders. Oh my gosh. That is so many. Which in contrast makes Bible's 4 seem almost conservative. They have 19 cats between them. Oh my gosh. That's unbelievable. Akira the cat, bottom left, even made his acting debut in 4 minutes. The unnamed puppy Bible has adopted. He shared in a post today. That's a full-time job. Indeed it is. Oh my gosh. Feeding time must be just unbelievable. Oh. Jed is the Jed is the nephew of a famed saxophonist. Wow. Both Bible and Jed are musical too. Both play guitar. Jed also plays the drums and sings. That's amazing. Bible built his own guitar? What? That's awesome. For 4 minutes, Jed played the guitar in a scene and contributed to the soundtrack, a song that plays several times in the final as a new arrangement of Jeff Satter's Why Don't You Stay, itself from the original soundtrack of Kin Porsche. Bible doesn't like to read fiction, preferring nonfiction. I kind of agree with that. After graduating from the international school, Bible didn't know what he wanted to do. I feel that. He floundered for a while, I also get that, until his parents pushed him towards college. Like the UK, and unlike the US, you chose your subject to study before attending and apply for the course. Bible chose engineering on a whim. Mostly he thought he'd never get in. He did. Yeah. US is kind of interesting. You know, we do like 1, maybe 2 years if it takes you a little longer to decide of just general education courses. And then you sign a major and a minor if you want a minor. That was an interesting time because it's like you're already so much in debt that you're just like, all right, now I got to make the right choice. And if I don't, I might be screwed financially. University was a culture shock in many ways. Yeah, it definitely is, regardless of where you're going, where you live. It is a culture shock. Firstly, Thai was the main language, and also Bible had never been around so many culturally Thai students either. Struggled to connect and communicate, and a natural introvert, which didn't help. He had friends, but at least the first year or more, he didn't exactly have his group of friends. I get that. I am definitely naturally an introvert, so making friends is a struggle. In contrast, he spent the last year or so of the degree filming Kinporsche, the show airing and then touring in a stage show between which he took his finals. I mean, that's amazing. That's at least something going on. You know what I mean? Like, he might have been nervous and introverted or whatnot, but he was doing some big things, even while studying. Imagine his classmates whiplash. Bible, the quiet kid who isn't confident in his speaking, is suddenly this guy. Right. That is so freaking true. Yeah, that would be such whiplash. Oh my gosh. And to be like acting in a big role. Like, that is not some like, oh yeah, I did a commercial, or, you know, I posted a sponsored Instagram ad. Like, that is legit acting. Not to mention doing aerial skills, dancing in a cage, doing tricks with a BL staff and more dancing, or a BO staff. Do they smell bad? Jed is a golf fanatic and spends a huge amount of his spare time on the green. That's awesome. I wish I could spend more time doing that. Bible has said he'd love to do an English language or mixed Thai English series, because then there'll be no language barrier, just him and the acting. Yeah, that makes sense. He'd probably be more comfortable, honestly. Bow like low. Okay. Jed hit 2 million Instagram followers yesterday, September 22nd. In a recent interview, Bible talked about how going from international school to university to study mechanical engineering with a major in English was a shock, because international schools can have different curriculum. Some have British A levels. Some have a more US-based system, and so on. Bible went to one that didn't focus much on maths or science, and then he chose engineering. Science and math subject, right. That is interesting. Evidently, he's developed a passion, however, as he was filmed during the KP tour, teaching 2 of the younger cast who had schoolwork, Barcode and Ta, in order to keep himself awake after travel and a time zone shift. Oh my gosh. Jed was originally known as Boar. I think that's how you say that. Jed went back to school in 2019 and got his master's in applied finance with a GPA of 3.91. Well, dang. Bible slips into English a few times in Kinporsche. That's funny. Yeah, that is definitely high. Needless to say, I was not that high in my GPA. Encouraging Bible to be himself, and the results.
ว่าสุดท้ายแล้วถ้าเราไม่เป็นตัวของตัวเองแล้วแบบว่าเขามาชอบเรามันจะไม่คุ้มกับเราเองในอนาคตเพราะฉะนั้นเป็นตัวของตัวเอง
They obviously get along very well. Number one, they're always like smiling or laughing at each other. And they're very open and being goofy, which I always appreciate. Bible being silly and happy is just good to see, and it's authentic him. Yeah, that is That is lovely to see. Reflecting on 4 minutes at the finale.
Thing about this project is never easy. Every step of the way just felt like there were things against us, whether it's time or, you know, complications. Everybody put so much into this, and you know, there were times where I just felt like very, very, very exhausted, and just being able to see the final episode and just to know that it's over and that everybody's efforts paid off. I just can't tell you how happy I am. And yeah, that's all I can say. Just thank you so much for being here and sharing this moment with me. Thank you guys.
Wow. That's great. Young Bib.
คือไบเบิลอาจจะรู้สึกไม่คอมฟอร์ตกับการที่แฟนคลับเรียกเขาว่าน้องบีบใช่ใช่แต่ผมมันเรียกเขาตลอดเวลา คือไบเบิลอาจจะรู้
Jed as a cucumber, Bible as a dirty mom. Oh God.
La llevo al dealer que quede en el este y yo le pregunto cuál tú quieres, este o este, este o este, échale saliva, se fue, este o este, échale saliva, se fue, la llevo al dealer que quede en el este.
It was the look at the camera for me. The look at the camera was just beautiful. Jed should not be allowed in the kitchen. Oh. Oh no. I get real nervous when people are cutting things. I just get super nervous watching that. Oh gosh. 4 minutes cast winning break through cast. Second branded pairing is JJ Fuez from Dead Friend Forever. And the other two, Boz and Job, played bodyguards. That's pretty cool. To go from kind of lost for 2 years to winning an award? Like, what? Everybody's got a look, and they nailed it. Mints of Time magazine, pretty big. That's awesome. That is really cool. This is absolutely amazing. What a redemption arc. Good grief. I don't know if this next one needs closed cap, but we're going to go with it. Let's go ahead and hop into the next video. It is 100 reasons. That seems like a lot of reasons. 100 reasons why, oh my gosh, Iso-Ayu or Hiso-Ilu? I'm not exactly sure. Is canon. This is from HunterxHunter, of course. I'm not exactly sure. Let me go ahead and check before I bring it up. That would be smart, wouldn't it? Ilu? Appreciate it. Okay. Go ahead and run it. Bring it up. Wow, I didn't even bring up myself. Hello. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Illumi's Kiowa's brother. Oh, okay. Go ahead and make sure this is up. There we go. And start.
We heard you loud and clear.
Okay, we don't
You
need
want
the...
confirmation of Hisoka and Illumi being canon. Well, lucky for you, we have been on the hunt and have gathered 100 pieces of solid evidence that we will now present to you, the jury, so you can weigh in on the court judgment.
Let's get started, shall we?
Number 1. They're literally engaged in the manga.
Very big eyes.
Yes, look it up. It's canon because Togashi actually made it canon.
Illumi likes living in holes because closeted gays have to hide away.
Mike Tyson meme.
And of course, he keeps Hisoka plushies and merch in there to comfort him too.
In fact, their plushies are frequently bought together on Amazon.
Even the knockoff merch features Hisoilu.
They give each other the look in Trick Tower.
And when Hanzo shows up, it ruins the mood.
They continue to meet up in the Hunter exam because they can't be apart from each other. It happens here on Zevel Island.
And it happens again in the airship.
And finally here, during 99's treasure hunt.
Hisoka stares at Illumi's fat ass, totally mesmerized.
He also stares in awe at Illumi whenever he transforms back from Gitaraka.
And he doesn't hesitate to let Illumi know that it's always fun to watch.
During Netero's interview, Illumi disclosed that he wants to fight Hisoka the least.
But he will happily scare off the monkey with his overpowering gay aura.
Illumi's all, if you stay close to him, you'll want to kill him, but we all know he was projecting here. Hisoka gets on Illumi's nerves, but he loves him regardless.
His projection continues with, assassins don't need friends. Yes, because they only need boyfriends.
What do you call the Zoldyck kids going out for a walk? A pride parade, because every single one of them is part of the LGBT+ community.
But Illumi is a homophobic homosexual. I blame it on the parents.
Actually, this is why Illumi always stands straight as a brick.
Though his overly dramatic fall in 99 inadvertently gave away his true gay theatre kid self.
And Hisoka's moans and mannerisms were even more gay in 99 too.
I'm dead.
Illumi is all too used to Hisoka's weird outbursts.
And he's the only one insane enough to be with Hisoka.
Don't believe us? Even Hisoka says so.
Yes, they are the enemies and lovers trope.
And they're an introvert and extrovert pair.
And a black and pink pair.
Because once again they fulfill the light hair dark hair trope.
They would totally cosplay as Marceline and Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time.
They are partners in crime. Be gay, do crimes.
And weird cat husbands.
It's Hisoilu against the world. Illumi and Hisoka have no friends, so they always rely on each other.
Their relationship is described by Illumi as give and take.
Meaning that Illumi doesn't need any particular reason to help out.
So not the enemies to lovers arc. It's the enemies to enemies and lovers arc.
It's just the nature of their bond.
Illumi even joined the spiders because Hisoka asked him to.
Though they have been whipped for each other since the start.
Their Nen types are fundamental opposites, and opposites attract.
They're frequently paired together in the anime openings, like here in the first one.
And here in the last.
They're also together in a 99 ending.
Wow, that was a beautiful
sunset. They're also
sunset.
frequently paired together in the mobile game cards.
And in these ones, they're even wearing engagement rings.
Illumi simply doesn't interact with women outside his family.
And Hisoka isn't good with women either.
Only homophobic dude bros ship him with Marchi. I mean, come on, she outright rejects Hisoka.
Crollo always feels like the third wheel in the adult trio.
And he got so fed up with Hisoka's gay antics that he decided to finish him off once and for all.
Also, congrats, you've made it halfway. This means you're at least 50% convinced.
And look at all these people who are already part of the Hisoilu hive mind. Rest assured, you will be in great company here. Join now to claim your complimentary gum.
The hive mind is international. Hisoilu is shipped everywhere, like in HunterxHunter TikTok.
And AO3, Hisoilu is in fact the most popular ship for both Hisoka and Illumi.
And even Google ships them.
They're also the #1 search result for gay anime villains.
Illumi chose to help out Hisoka over Crollo during the York New arc.
And he was able to replicate Hisoka perfectly when standing in for him at the troops' hideout. This can only mean Illumi spent way too long staring at Hisoka and memorizing every aspect of his appearance.
When you see the person you love, your pupils dilate. This is why Illumis are so humongous. When he's not looking at Hisoka, he's thinking of him. And Hisoka always keeps track of Illumi's whereabouts and well-being. He's just so doting. When Hisoka talks about people like they're toys to play with, Illumi is the only one smiling in his mind. Let's address the elephant in the room. He can't look at Hisoka and say he's not gay. It's simple. No one straight would spend time painting intricate symbols on their face each day. Hisoka's dedication to his appearance even led Jeffrey Star to kin him. And his expertise is put to use to flawlessly do Illumi's makeup.
I can't argue it.
Illumi returns the favour by doing Hisoka's hair on bad hair days.
I would not be doing intricate designs on my face.
Their nails are so long so that they can give each other manicures on spa days. And to complete the experience, Hisoka gives Illumi special foot massages. He learned this from Illumi too. Oh, and look how similar their eyebrow shapes are. They can't help but match each other. They even match crop tops and fancy corsets. This is couple behaviour.
They share an esthetician.
In fact, all of their outfits are just outright gay. Gay, homosexual, gay. Hisoka's theme is almost as flamboyant as he is. And his birthday is during Pride Month. If straight, why gay stand? And if straight, why gay sit? No, seriously, just look at him, sitting there, vibing, gaily. We have seen them on multiple interesting dates, like here where they're hanging out on, or in Illumi's case, in some industrial machinery. And here in the airship bar, how romantic. They were even spotted bungee jumping on their honeymoon. And Illumi had a special surprise for Hisoka afterwards. They're on the phone to each other constantly, especially during the election arc. So it's no surprise that Illumi's wallpaper is Hisoka. And Hisoka's wallpaper is Illumi. Illumi just loves filling Hisoka, with lots of juicy deets and any drama he may have missed. Let's not forget that Hisoka proposed Illumi be his manager. And they agreed Illumi would receive all of Hisoka's wealth upon death. Yes, Illumi is the only person on Hisoka's will. It's a well-known stereotype that gays walk fast. Well, Illumi takes this to the next level by driving fast. And it's also a stereotype that gays can't drive. This is true for Hisoka. Illumi has to drive them around because he's fed up with Hisoka totaling their cars. Illumi is gay because I've taken way too many HunterxHunter kin assignment quizzes and I get him every time. Hisoka knows how to truly trigger Illumi, which you only really know how to do when you're super close to someone. And they have a competitive relationship paralleling the infamous paraging, and no one can deny the tension between those two. Hisoka and Illumi are pretty much the same height, which is perfect for hand-holding. They even hold hands in the 36th volume cover.
That was an interesting angle.
A little known fact about Illumi is that his hair strand is actually a gaydar antenna that he uses to track Killua. It is also the reason why he is initially so drawn to Hisoka. Hisoka likes playing with cards and cards are gay. Yes, he made them gay. Hisoka frequently uses heart symbols when speaking with Illumi in the manga, and the heart symbols are used with affectionate intent. And Hisoka is so iconic that many more gay antagonists were inspired by him. And finally, the big three does not refer to anime, but in fact the HunterxHunter ships. Kilogon, Leopika and Hisailu are the real big three. Well then, we're certainly convinced that Hisoka and Illumi are guilty as charged. Are you? If that's a yes, show your support of this judgment by hitting like and subscribe. We're no win no fee lawyers after all, and we have won the case. Are there other shipping matters you would like us to investigate? Let us know in the comments.
Dead.
So
that
until next time,
hilarious.
Smash out.
Link down below in the description on YouTube for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. That was awesome. Very funny. Do I believe it? Yeah, I suppose. Let's go and bring up jaunty music. Go ahead and bring up some information on HunterxHunter specifically. Those two. Hisoka. Those eyes, that look, that spirit, I can't wait, ... to break you. Now all these quotes have a different meaning to me. Well, mostly just jokes, but they are engaged. My greatest pleasure comes when people like you buckle to their knees, and I look down upon their disbelieving faces as their plans fail. Opposites attract. I bet we'd get along. We could be great friends, but be careful, as transmuters are fickle. What used to be vulnerable can instantly turn to chaff. Chafe. Chaff? Pop quiz, you shot 24 coins at me. How many will I send back at you? The answer? Enough to kill you. A Reaper's quiz needs no answers. Ahsoka is one of the main antagonists of HunterxHunter. Enigmatic magician serial killer who is always in search for strong opponents, going as far to spare those who have great potential, such as Gon and Kiowa. Yeah, that's where that little attraction to strong opponents gets a little weird. Ahsoka is both an enemy or ally to both Gon and Kiowa, depending on the situation. He's also the arch enemy of Crollo, having used to be a former associate of the Phantom Troop, until he broke off with them and killed 2 other members, earning Crollo and the troop's hatred. I mean, that's a good way to do it. That is definitely a good way to do it. Although he isn't the same caliber as Miriam, Netero, or Crollo, Ahsoka is undoubtedly one of the strongest characters in the series due to his versatile powers and high intelligence. Ahsoka is ranked 3rd in the Phantom Troop for physical strength, being capable of shattering rocks and incapacitating powerful fighters with just a finger. Enhanced speed and reflexes, extreme pain tolerance. I mean, that would definitely come in handy in a fight. Genius level intellect. That will definitely come in handy in a fight. Transmutation. Bungee gum. Ahsoka can cause his aura to mimic and combine the properties of gum and rubber, so he turns into flubber. The ability is highly versatile, can be used in many situations such as restraining opponents, deflecting attacks, or pulling things against him. As well as a very sticky gum-like mass that is deceptively strong. Bungee gum has the properties of rubber and gum. Texture surprise. Texture surprise. Like when you eat something and you're just surprised by the texture. Ugh. Ahsoka can alter his appearance by attaching his aura to any thin surface such as paper. However, this trick fails easily once physical contact is made. He can even use this ability to change writing to something he wishes, having altered his fortune that revealed his betrayal to a version that made it look like he was being forced against his will. Interesting. Ahsoka's Nen abilities are named after his favorite candy and chewing gum brand. Appearance as a clown, hairstyle, painted teardrops, and card-throwing skills. Maybe references to another Yoshihiro character, Suzuki, from his earlier work, Yu Yu, and he was dressed up as a clown. Ahsoka changes his appearance after each story arc. Hunter exam number is 44. The number 4 has heavy implications of death in some Asian languages, including Japanese and Chinese, since it's synonymous with the word death or to die. The number 44 can mean certainty of death. Interesting. Oh my God, Flubber. I forgot that movie existed. I just watched it not that long ago. I hadn't seen it in forever. To the point where I didn't even remember what happened. This is because Ahsoka enjoys telling his opponents about his ability. Well, it makes sense, you know. Seems like he's got quite a ego. Ahsoka is often considered to be a very unusual villain, as his motivations can seem conflicting and confusing. Past decisions frequently contradict his later actions, and he's willing to entirely alter his behavior at a moment's notice in order to more aptly fit a situation. Interesting. Very interesting character. Obviously, doesn't have a lot of loyalty when it came to the troop, Phantom Troop. Alias Grim Reaper. That about says it all, doesn't it? Occupation thief, formerly. Member of the Phantom Troop, formerly. Hunter. Superhuman strength, superhuman speed and reflexes, durability, stamina, mastery of tactics and strategy, expertise in hand-to-hand combat. deception in disguise, hobby performing magic tricks. Goals: wait for Gon and Kiowa to become too powerful opponents and then kill them. Kill all Phantom Troop members, fight strong opponents, and dispose of anyone who cannot live up to his standards, all ongoing. Defeat Crollo. Failed. Oh boy. Well, there's a crime. Yikes. He's loyal only to himself, because Hisoka enjoys telling his opponents about his ability. Yeah, this is a, ooh. Yikes. Not the greatest of people. Illumi Zoldyck. Illumi to Kiowa. Now I can tell you that you would not make a good hunter. Boy, your calling is as an assassin. There's no fire in you, just darkness. Sustains you, drains you of any desire. Your only joy is in causing death. And even that is fleeting. That is how Dad and I molded you. Oof. Got the manga, 1999, 2011. Whoa. Zoom in on those eyes. Professional assassin, eldest child of Silva and Kikyo Zoldyck. At Hisoka's request, Illumi joins the Phantom Troop as a replacement. Served as the secondary antagonist in the Hunter exam arc and the primary one of the 13th Hunter Chairman election arc. Let's see. Occupation, assassin. Hunter, thief, and troop member. Abilities: pin and needle manipulation, body alteration, hypnotic spell, corpse control. I don't know what corpse control is, but that's definitely terrifying. Most often expressionless. Spider tattoo has the number 11 on the spider's abdomen, but the tattoo location is yet to be revealed. It's wherever you want it to be. When he was younger, Illumi's hair often only reached his shoulders. He wore long sleeves with a shirt underneath, as well as gray pants. For the most part, displays very little expression. In contrast, his expressionless demeanor, Illumi often speaks in a somewhat joyful, absent-minded tone. Generally a stony, ruthless person with an extremely cold way of thinking. Well, I mean, it's in that assassin, of course. Reflects solely on his own interests. Still, he holds a twisted and overprotective form of love for his younger brother, Kiowa. This manifests to the point that he used his Nen ability to control Kiowa in order to ensure his survival and obedience. He and his father raised Kiowa to believe that the only thing sustaining him was darkness, that he could only obtain joy in causing the death of others. As a means of protecting his little brother, Illumi implanted a needle in Kiowa's brain, forcing the latter to run from battles he wasn't sure he could win. Well, yeah, that's right. He's describing himself as well. Illumi cares for most of the Zoldyck family members, willing to handle Iluka's power, even if it costs him his life. When Illumi seems devoid of many human emotions, he's not without a sense of desire, as he greatly hankers Iluka's wish-granting ability. Subone implies that Illumi's sinister ambition to control Iluka's power even caused him to stray from the path of an assassin. At some point, Illumi formed an unusual relationship with Hisoka, which he described as, quote, give and take. He once came to the aid of the magician by standing for him as a double in the Phantom Troop's hideout, while Hisoka attempted to find Crollo. However, when Hisoka asks Illumi if it would be okay if he killed Kiowa, Illumi displays a horrifying side of himself and asks if Hisoka wants to die then and there. His demeanor and bloodlust was very similar to how Hisoka reacted to Illumi's indecision on whether or not to kill Gon, whom he sees as a threat due to his closeness with Kiowa during the Hunter exam, albeit on a much lesser extent. Despite the mutual benefit of the relationship, Illumi always believed one of them would wind up killing the other. It was a love-hate relationship. He therefore accepted to form a contract with Hisoka with the condition that if the magician is killed, Illumi will receive his reward. The assassin cryptically refers to it as an engagement ring and prenuptial agreement. Whoa. Illumi casually commits mass murder every time he uses his abilities. Whoa. Sacrificing the lives of innocent people the vast majority of the time. Also joined the Phantom Troop, organization notorious for committing mass killings. However, he doesn't appear loyal to them when he discloses that all the spiders were on the Black Whale to Zodiac member Mizaystorm? Mizaysnum? Illumi's the oldest child. Was raised from birth in the art of assassination. Following Kyoa's escape from the Zoldyck Manor, Illumi was sent by his mother to watch over his brother at the Hunter exam. Illumi may come from an Italian word illuminato that means enlightened. However, his name may be related to the Illuminati. Whoa. Now we're getting deep. Illumi has known Hisoka a little longer than Crollo. Illumi never refers to Luca as a girl, but as a boy, which offends her. In chapter 320, Illumi was shown disguised as Gitaracker for the first time since the Hunter exam arc, where the first election of the 13th Hunter chairman voting took place. Now for the ship between Hisoka and Illumi from the HunterxHunter fandom. Semi-canon, engaged, but feelings are ambiguous. For the events of the recent manga arc, Hisoka and Illumi were associates, and the closest thing to each other had to be friends. They would often assist each other when the other was needed. Give and take, as we read before. The condition, in case the magician was killed, Illumi would receive the reward, quote-unquote, engagement ring. Important to note that Hisoka and Illumi are revealed to be engaged in the manga. This is proven by Illumi casually admitting to Crollo that he and Hisoka's ordeal is an engagement ring. Ship mostly formed due to these two characters matching psychopathic natures. They just go along so well together. The fact that in the majority of Illumi's appearances thus far, Hisoka has also been present, showing that the two apparently spend quite a bit of time together. After which Hisoka frowned and told him, "I have issues, but you're just as bad." Interesting relationship there. Most popular ship for both characters in the fandom by a large margin. Often chosen above other ships when it comes to creation of fan fiction and fan art. Also because of the off-screen ending of the relationship between Illumi and Hisoka took place in the manga-only chapters. Most written ship for both Hisoka and Illumi. Over 1,800 stories. Good grief. That's a lot. I'm not even going to open those comments because I have a bad feeling. Let's go ahead and jump into the next video. I believe it's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mistaken? Best not to. Yeah. I know when it comes to the shipping wiki, it's best not to click any links or anything like that. It's probably not a good idea. Next is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Mac and Daisy, entitled Partners, period. There's a period after it, so you know it's serious. go ahead and bring it up and jump in.
Who the hell are you people? I'm Mac. This is Johnson.
This is my partner, Mac.
He said his friends took off?
Yeah. Not all of them.
It's you and me, Tremors.
So she's the greeting party and you're the muscle, huh?
Believe me, she's the muscle.
He looks big and intimidating. Mac? But inside he's just a soft little, fluffy little teddy bear. Mac? Mac, I need you close just in case. When I need someone to watch my back. He's the person I want.
Daisy, wait, Daisy! Damn it. Coulson put me in charge to make the hard call. And that's what
Definitely good to have somebody you trust.
S.H.I.E.L.D. being run by a man that's part alien.
Yeah, imagine that.
We're the ones that need protection from her.
The truth is, I can't hold the team together. But he can. Mac should call the shots. But one thing, I'm staying with you.
Somebody call out to your brother. He's calling out
I'm your partner. Mac! Mac!
You Daisy Jones.
You couldn't help out your own neighbor. You couldn't tell it to his face.
Okay, come on, we gotta get out of here. Now it's your turn. We need to get you out of here. Mac. Mac.
You cower in the corner.
Mac!
You confide in your father.
I really wanted
What's
to
going
see
on
you,
there?
Mac.
Maybe he was frozen.
Mac? See that?
You're his partner.
Yeah. I should have been here for him. He has the biggest heart. I mean, physically, but also
I mean, physically.
You are a moral center. You're looking better. I never want to stop being a soldier. He's a general we can all rally behind.
No, none of that.
No, don't be stupid. Get away. I told Fitz to stay away.
No can do. Not when my partner needs help.
I don't need you.
You're my partner.
Whoa.
We're not partners anymore. Look at us, Mac. You were a mechanic. I was a hacker, and now somehow we're soldiers?
The world's changing. We had to adapt.
We had
Things
no
happen.
choice. S.H.I.E.L.D. made us into what it needed. Mac? You remember what happened last time. You know how hard this is, but you have people
I care about you.
who really care about you. So what's that make us?
This song is about sleeping with your best friend's girlfriend. What? That is an interesting note.
Should have been some backup.
Friends who love you very much.
Friends, partners. Daisy was my partner, and I forgive you. This is on me.
You said you were in pain.
It wasn't right for me to
No, don't do that. I didn't ask for that. Don't you walk it back. I did this. Should have stayed away!
Your friend Sky is an atrocity. Daisy, I'm not gonna fight you. This is not your fight. It is now.
Oh my gosh.
We could have had a connection. That was real.
Look at yourself. You have to do this.
Get away! No!
Boy, lots of tough situations there.
Director, after what happened with my parents, I needed someone, and you were almost like a big brother to me.
You did good, Tremors.
I'm not leaving. I'm gonna come back.
I never quite know, what's in order and what's not. Like, an edit can make it seem like it's a roller coaster, but in reality, it might just be things are going all right, and then there's a brief falling out, and then they're back to normal. So you never quite know.
I don't want to lose you.
Daisy, come home with us.
You guys are my family. I don't know who I am without you guys.
Daisy.
No. Matt, can you hear me? Matt. Drummer.
You know exactly who you are. You all still in one piece?
More or less.
Be careful out there.
It's good to hear your voice.
Excellent edit. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw out some much deserved love. That is funny about the song. That is definitely funny. Seems like they go through a lot, obviously. I'm not exactly sure what exactly happened with the powers and that fight scene out in the street. You know, we could have been something, or like we had something, and I was just like, what is this, falling out? But where'd the powers come from? Like, is she like possessed or something, or have they always been there? Yeah, it's just kind of interesting when that comment about, you know, you were a mechanic, I was a hacker or something. All I kept thinking of was, for some reason, this came up into my mind. I was just thinking of Saving Private Ryan when they're talking about their actual lives and careers. You know, they obviously got drafted into the military, and one was an English teacher, the other was like a, you know, mechanic or something, you know, just a bunch of random roles. And you're just like, wow. And now they're all gathered here on a different piece of soil in a war zone. And it's one of those things where you're just like, wow, I guess, you know, people who probably should never actually spend any time together just happen to be brought together. Kind of the weirdness of life, you know? I guess the same can be said if you go to a convention. Same can be said if you go, you know, to a sporting event or something like that. It's just an eclectic group of people from all walks of life. Very interesting. Her mom had powers. She's half alien race with powers or something. I only saw a few seasons a long time ago. She didn't know. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. She didn't know her name was Daisy first season. She's a hacker called Skyy. Oh, gosh. Yeah, realizing that your entire life was a lie or you didn't get told the whole truth, that would be hard to deal with. So I'm not surprised there was any sort of conflict there. Good grief. I don't know how I would deal with that. Not well. Probably like that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., just a quick rundown if you're, you know, not familiar with it. We are not agents of nothing. We are agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that still carries weight. That has to carry weight after everything we've been through. That carries weight. That was Phil. Might know him from, obviously, the Avengers films and Marvel films. Let's see here. It's set after the events of the Avengers. Show's first season directly ties in with Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And the second season ties in with Avengers: Age of Ultron. Third season had references to the events of Ant-Man and the Captain America: Civil War. The fourth and fifth seasons alluded to the events of Doctor Strange and Infinity War, respectively. For the sixth and seventh seasons, the show departed from directly following the events depicted in MCU films. That's a good question. Why? Why did it depart? First season premiered 2013. Oh my gosh. It's crazy how old some of those movies are. Like the first Iron Man, you look back and you're like, wait, it came out then? Oh my gosh, we've been at this for a while. It's crazy. Reached an audience of more than 12 million viewers. Series had 4 spin-off short web series. Wow, that's a lot. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy, a reality show to win an appearance on the third season. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Slingshot, mini companion series released during the fourth season. Announced 2012. Wow, so it took 2 years from the announcement to actually putting it up. Joss Whedon stated it's new characters, it needs to be its own thing, needs to be adjacent to the cinematic universe. But you don't want to do a show where you're constantly going, Iron Man just left, but he was totally here a minute ago. You want them to do their own thing. What does S.H.I.E.L.D. got that the heroes don't have? To me, it's that they're not superheroes, but they live in that universe. even though they're a big organization that makes them underdogs, and that's interesting to me. Yeah, that's true. That does make it interesting because they don't have powers, or at least they don't think they have powers. End of the first season had the big Hydra reveal, and one of the core cast was revealed to be Hydra, etc., etc. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, honestly. All right, Quake. Funny that can happen when someone believes in you. Daisy to Phil. Agent Daisy is an inhuman, genius-level hacker, S.H.I.E.L.D. operative. Taken away from her mother when she was murdered by Hydra, raised at St. Agnes Orphanage, and their identity of Mary Sue Poots. Disliking her legal name, can't blame her. She adopted the alias Sky after she left the orphanage and worked for the Rising Tide, putting her on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s radar. Phil recruited her into the team, contracted her as a consultant before she became an official agent during the hunt for the clairvoyant. Following the events of the Hydra uprising, she joined the rest of her team and going off the grid. Devastated when she learned that Grant Ward was a Hydra operative, helped the team in dismantling the Centipede Project and defeating John Garrett. She discovered her mother's Kree-based origin and was exposed to the Terrigen Mist, granting her the ability to manipulate vibrations. The activation of her inhuman abilities alerted the attention of other Inhumans, and Sky was taken to Afterlife to help her better understand her powers. Eventually reunited with her mother. That's cool. Create an alliance with Ghost Rider. Fight criminal organizations. All right, what else we got here? Good gosh, they have a lot of pop-ups on this site. That's unbelievable. Oh, here we go. Took a while to get to it. Boy, this is in-depth. Whoa. You can get lost on this wiki page. Oh my gosh. That is passion right there. This is done by the fans. I gotta say, it's pretty amazing. Holy cow. I am blown away. Whoa. When first met, Sky was a confident woman obsessed with superhero culture and the shadow organizations that existed. Edgy, can outtalk anyone with her unflappable nature. However, after the ordeal against John Garrett, Sky became more aloof, taking her role as a member of Phil's new S.H.I.E.L.D. team more seriously. That's interesting. Inhuman physiology. Vibration manipulation. All existing matter and energy within the known universe vibrate at a specific resonant frequency on the quantum level. Daisy acquired the ability to sense the various frequency vibrations in her environment and manipulate them. Her powers are connected to their heart rate. As a negative result, she can lose control of her powers whenever her heartbeat increases during stressful situations. That's not good. Johnson's body is able to withstand enhancing and releasing intense vibrational waves, hence the throwing. It's the throwing there. When focused, her abilities to extend to the point that she can create both force barriers and powerful concussive waves of sheer force. Awesome. Concussive blast. Yep, that would be handy. Certainly. Wave absorption. That's pretty cool. Disintegration. What? Can cause molecules to vibrate violently enough that the bonds between them are destroyed. Whoa. Disintegrated an entire army in a matter of seconds. Holy crap. Force field generation. That's cool. Levitation. All right, these are amazing powers. You just scrolled past the bit about her working with Mac. I did. To be fair, there was a lot there. Oh my gosh. This wiki is outrageously long, but I appreciate it. Yeah, now I have to literally, I'm just going to do this. This is way faster. We'll get to it. Hold on. I feel like hitting the theme to Jeopardy or something. Oh my gosh, here we go. Bonding with others. Mac attack? Let's see. Come across the Thompson family on the road. Guy made her way through the city. She came across Mac, who was unresponsive due to being enthralled by the city. Guy attempted to get Mackenzie to leave, but he wouldn't move. So she decided to continue and come back for him afterwards. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Let me check his page. Mackenzie, we never give up. We're always held together by hope. Good quote. Mechanical engineer, former member of S.H.I.E.L.D's engineering division, or eventually taking the role of director after Daisy and Phil. That's pretty cool. A few months later, he became the partner of Daisy in recruiting Inhumans to the powered individuals team she was establishing. Mac united the team when he was the temporary director. He continued working with S.H.I.E.L.D. in their fights against Gideon Malik and Hive. Eventually, Johnson went rogue, so he and Coulson pursued her under Jeffrey Mace's leadership. Mac had to join forces with Johnson and Robbie Reyes, who was Ghost Rider, to stop her. Mackenzie was temporarily merged with the Spirit of Vengeance. Losing his daughter, that's got to be huge. That has got to be huge. Boom, so much easier to find. Working with S.H.I.E.L.D. again, you convinced Mac not to quit. Yeah, well, he kind of owed me after cutting off my hand without asking. He respects you, but he still holds a deep distrust of all alien artifacts you've encountered. Why I put him in charge of them. Honestly, this is just so in depth to the point of losing it. Yeah, this is so much story. It's unbelievable. Wow. Yeah, if you want to get lost, These are definitely the pages to do it. Holy cow. What about his daughter? Probably interesting. Losing his daughter. My ex Nicole we had a life plan together. She got pregnant. We were happy. When Hope was born, it was touch and go, and she only lived for 4 days. Oh gosh. Her story was over before it even started. Oh my gosh. That's brutal. Left him in so much pain that it took him weeks to walk back into the nursery to clean out her things. Mac became the chief engineer aboard the S.H.I.E.L.D. aircraft carrier Iliad. Gosh, that never heals, for sure. The experience left Mac in a lot of pain, and he divorced Nicole. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. The Powers, I only saw the beginning of before losing touch with the show. Sounds like she ended up almost overpowered. Yeah, kind of. Coulson would have died if Mac hadn't cut off his hand. Well, that explains it. There was no stopping to ask. Yeah, exactly. When it's that kind of situation, yeah, there's no asking. Boy, that definitely affected him for sure. Good grief. All right, let's hop into the last video. We got The Witch. Should be interesting. I don't know if closed captioning is necessary, but I'm going to turn it on just in case. Called Bones. At first, I thought it was about the show Bones, which I've definitely seen a lot of.
Give me some time to think. I'm in the bathroom looking at me. Facing the mirror is all I need. Wait until the Reaper takes my life. Never gonna get me out alive. I will live 1,000 million lives. My patience is waning. Is this entertaining? My patience is waning. Is this entertaining?
Whoa. Oh. Choreography and CGI on point. Obviously pretty brutal.
내 동생이야? 내가 내 동생 꺼내놓은 했지. 언제 죽이라 그랬어? 별로.
Oh, whoa.
계속 그러고 살고 싶은 거야? 솔직히 나 같은 그냥 죽었으면
안 살 거야. 언니랑 같이 가자. 부자연이.
It's like a world of assassins. Like crazy physics. This is fascinating. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. That was unbelievable. That ended abruptly. It was a part of a playlist, so it just played the next one immediately. But link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw that some love. That was interesting, to say the least. Whoa, we're ending with a bang. That was crazy. Wow. 2018 South Korean science fiction action horror film. Interesting. Yeah, I did notice a bit of powers in there, so that's definitely the science fiction. But the fact that it's an action horror film on top of that, like multi-genre, that is very cool. Very neat. Part 1, The Subversion, a sequel. The Witch Part 2, the other one, was released in 2022, so there's 2 of them. Plot: a young girl escapes from a mysterious lab. Gosh, isn't it always a mysterious lab? It always is. Nothing good comes out of a lab. After a violent incident that leaves many dead, 2 members that run the lab, Dr. Beek and Mr. Choi, considered her dead. Girl collapses on a farm where she's discovered by the owner. What is this? Clark Kent? Mr. and Mrs. Gu. His wife nurses the girl back to health and adopts her. Nice. 10 years. That's Clark Kent. 10 years later, the girl named Jaeyoon is living a normal life, apparently without any memory of her past. So it's like a Jason Bourne situation where he doesn't realize he's Jason Bourne until all hell breaks loose. Her family is struggling financially. Her mother is showing early signs of dementia. Oh boy. And Jaeyoon is suffering periodic severe headaches. In an effort to earn money, she decides to audition for a national singing contest. Boy, this does not sound like what we watched. That promises a large cash prize. She impresses the judges with her special talent, the telekinetic ability to make the microphone levitate. This makes, obviously, them realize that Jaeyoon is the girl that escaped, and they send men to recapture her. On her way to Seoul for the second round of the audition, Jaeyoon is approached by a man named Nobleman, who claims to know her. After the audition, she avoids an abduction by the men. A group of armed men barge into her home and hold her family at gunpoint. Seeming to enter a trance, Jaeyoon dispatches of the men with superhuman strength and speed, left shaken, apparently not understanding either her superhuman or psionic abilities. I've never seen that word before. Nobleman demands that she accompany him or he will kill her parents. She agrees and is taken to the lab where she is restrained. The doctor explains that she created Jaeyoon genetically, modifying her to have superpowers. Jaeyoon's headaches are a symptom of a disease that will kill her without proper treatment. She has her injected with a blue serum that will stop the disease for a month, leaving Jaeyoon dependent on new doses. After the injection, Jaeyoon's demeanor changes and she reveals the truth. She never lost her memory. And has always known what she is. After visiting a doctor by herself and being told that without a bone marrow transplant by a blood relative, she only has a few months to live, she decided to track down the doctor for the cure. Not knowing how to find her, she purposely revealed her abilities during the audition to draw the attention of the creators. Oh my gosh. With the serum restoring her to full strength, Jaeyoon escapes her bonds and kills the guards. That's not surprising. Holding the doctor at gunpoint, she demands to know where the serum is produced. It is around that time Mr. Choi comes, having heard about Jaeyoon, but she kills him with ease. She defeats Nobleman, but the doctor is killed during the chaos. Jaeyoon burns the building down and visits her parents, providing her father with some of the serum to give her mother to help slow the spread of the dementia. Interesting. Her father alludes to always having known what Jaeyoon could do. 3 months later, Jaeyoon appears in the home. I'm sure there were signs, certainly when she was younger. 3 months later, Jaeyoon appears in the home of the doctor's twin sister. She gives her more vials of the serum. Mysterious young woman whose face is covered in scars approaches Jaeyoon, but Jaeyoon threatens to kill her if she touches her, and the screen goes to black. Whoa. So the budget was 5.5 million US dollars, box office 24.4. Something tells me it didn't go to a lot of theaters. But wow, it was distributed by Warner Brothers. That is such a crazy looking movie. I liked it. That was wild. It was intense. Wow. Rotten Tomatoes holds an approval rating of 89% based on 18 reviews with an average rating of 8.7 out of 10. Hollywood Reporter gave it a positive review and wrote an ever so delicate twist on the Korean revenge thriller. By Korean action standards, The Witch Part 1, The Subversion, is lean at 2 hours. I think that's fine, though. But in cramming so much into a narrative, it stumbles over itself on more than one occasion, very often forgets its own internal logic, and drags the final showdown out to the breaking point. Actually, I like the fact that it's 2 hours. You know, if it was any less than that, it would be way too short. But 2 hours is solid. You're getting story, you're getting some background, you're getting a lot of action. 2 hours is fine. If it was any more than that, like 2.5, 3 hours, I'd be like, all right, we've seen enough of this. Flickering Myth rated the film 4 out of 5 and wrote, despite trying to cram too much plot, the film's atmospheric score, action sequences, and visuals keep you invested in the story and what comes next. Well, yeah, it's like John Wick, right? John Wick gives you a little bit. See the dog get killed, wife, the wife's killed, he's dragged back in, and then all hell breaks loose. And it's just an entertaining ride that you're on. Very similar feel, I think, to John Wick, which doesn't rely a lot on story, but it keeps you entertained, right? Like there is story there, but it's mostly just action. I'm assuming that's what this is. It does say it's cramming too much plot, but I don't know. Finished in first place in South Korea during its opening weekend. Second weekend, the film finished at second behind Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not bad, not bad. Won a bunch of awards here. Pretty cool. Part 2, sequel. I wonder how the sequel did, you know? Obviously, John Wick 1 through 4 was pretty well received. So I'm assuming they were just keeping the same formula going for this. Opened at number 1. That's good. Surpassed 1 million admissions after 4 days. 7th highest grossing Korean film of 2022. $23 million. Not bad, not bad. It's 137 minutes long. That's honestly, I think that's fine. Might be a little much, but it's got a post-credits scene. I'm dead. I don't like how they give away the full plot. That's a little weird. They should kind of cut it eventually. Postponed release due to the pandemic, we'll say. Let's see here. First place, opened at first place. It's good. 6th place of Korean films released in 2022. Rotten Tomatoes reported a 75% approval rating based on 12 reviews. So it went down a little bit. Maybe they didn't improve on it and they just kind of released the same film. That's why it went down. Let's see. appearance of the Absolute, who is stronger than the Strong One, has completed the basic character build-up of the Witch worldview. In praise of performances. Film is a work like burning oil that makes you look forward to the upcoming third installment by inserting an expanded worldview into the film. Film shows the audience an expanded worldview with the advent of a new absolute. Story structure has been simplified compared to the first part, and the characters are also at the expected level. Bloody Disgusting, I don't know what review site that is, rated the film 3.5 out of 5, criticized the weak narrative, writing. While the narrative may fare much weaker this round, that's not good, but appreciate the director's knack for strong visuals and staging, late game revelations. All right, so it's got some twists and turns at the end. The other one does not move the needle forward and opens up intriguing new possibilities for the third chapter. Does move the needle forward, excuse me. Roger Moore, film critic, rated the film 2 stars out of 5. Oof. Found the film tardy and lengthy. Yeah, it's a little long. Everything but the Korean kitchen sink sequel. A simple, slow-moving witch hunt story whose clutter keeps it from ever truly getting up to speed. Wait, so the first one was like super action-packed and fast. So the second one is slow-moving? That's not good. I don't know. That's weird. Obviously did not do as well as the first one. Nominated a bunch of times. Only won one. Maybe they tried to change it up with the second one, and it did not work. Although people are looking forward to a third one, which is interesting. Weird for not amazing reviews. I mean, 75 is still good. Still decent. But yeah, that's very odd. Part 3 update. Has anyone heard anything about it? Any update? Been 2 years since part 2 release. Think it still has a passionate fan base? I mean, that's the thing with most things, right? I mean, even if it's, well, most things, even if it's somewhat panned by critics, if it's popular and people like it, they're going to like it, right? Like I said about John Wick was not the strongest story ever. It mainly relied on Keanu Reeves, the action sequences, the creativity of the choreography, the fact that I don't know if I'd seen anything quite like it. It was like a constant start to finish, just unbelievable movements and action. And you saw people get eviscerated by Keanu Reeves like you've never seen ever before. Like, it was just so wild. The story was not particularly strong in any of those movies. Like, they are completely forgettable. But just the way they went about the movies was interesting. So, obviously, those had really passionate fan base. I consider myself a passionate fan of John Wick. Certainly not the story. First one was all right. Kind of went downhill from there. But yeah, if they released another one, I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Am I clamoring for it? Probably not. So maybe I'm not passionate, but I would definitely watch it. But yeah, this what we just watched on that edit seemed amazing. So I'm definitely interested just based off that, which is pretty good. Pretty good. There's not a lot of stuff like that coming out that I just get, ooh, that looks cool. Like, that doesn't happen usually with me looking at trailers or anything like that. Nothing coming out that really makes me excited. That was exciting. That was very exciting. Not seen any of John Wick's. Keanu's a good watch, though. Yeah. Yeah. The story is forgettable in all of them. But what's just fascinating about it is the fact that he trained like crazy to be able to pull off some unbelievable kills and moves. It was it was wild. Just a wild ride. Music edits seemed more fun than the wikis made the film sound. Yeah, that edit that we just watched was legit entertaining. Like, I was taken aback by how good that was. Like, oh my gosh. It definitely gave me John Wick vibes, where things were happening and I just didn't see it coming. And I'm like, whoa. It's brutal to an extent. We were just like, whoa, that totally caught me off guard. But yeah, that first one, I don't know which parts are in that edit. If it's just the part one, then part one must be amazing, because the reviews were very good, obviously. And it won a ton of awards. 89%. I mean, that is certified fresh, as far as I'm concerned. That's definitely worth a watch. Wow. That was entertaining as hell. I hope everyone enjoyed those videos today. Obviously, the timestamps will be available down below in the YouTube description. If you see it later, I should be posting this pretty soon. I will try to get it up as quickly as possible. Sometimes I run into roadblocks and whatnot, but I try to get over those quickly so we can get it out to the masses. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. There is a lot of you that could subscribe right now, and I would greatly appreciate it. This takes a lot of work and a lot of effort. Might not seem like it, but it does. And just a simple subscription to the channel is kind of a nice free way to say, hey, keep it up. And I appreciate it. Each and every one of you that have subscribed so far, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been fun. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope you continue to enjoy it by subscribing. Join the Discord. It's super fun. It's awesome. The conversations are amazing. The people are amazing. It's a very nice place to be. If you're a fan of anything that we've covered, or maybe we haven't covered, join it today and let your voice be heard. We're welcoming. We are down to hear what your thoughts and opinions are. Subscribe. Follow Twitch. There we go. Follow the Twitch channel if you would like to watch live. If you join the Discord, it actually gives you a link to the Twitch when I'm live, so it's super handy, super easy. If you'd like to request your own videos, you certainly can. Head on over to toddreacts.com. You can do so today. Yeah. Check out the merch. Summer collection is leaving in just over 7 days. I've been working on the fall winter collection and have a lot of good things for you. Hopefully you enjoy it. And yeah, I will see you all on Friday. Thanks so much, Jace, for hanging out. Everybody that came in, chatted. If you didn't chat and you were just watching silently, I appreciate you as well. Yeah, have a great week. I will see you all on Friday. I do enjoy the Monday, Friday cap of the work week. It's super nice. We end with something positive. We start with something positive. We end with something positive. It's super awesome. So I hope you've enjoyed those days as well. I'll try to keep them going as long as I can. But anyway, have a good one. Stay safe out there. I will see you on Friday, and I will see you in the Discord. So join the Discord. Bye-bye, everybody.